Hello, my name is Shitabe Ayodeji Iliri David, and welcome to TAFTOBY Tales from the Ones Before You. And today, my very wonderful friend is going to be interviewing me. Let me tell you a little bit about my friend. He's one of those guys that they are very jovial. When you see them, you think like he's a Yoruba demon. He's one of those people that used to break hearts. But deep down, he's soft like moi moi. It's compatible like Echo. It's like you can pair with anything to go well, you understand? And he's one of those guys that has truly, truly soft hearts.
Thank you, man.
I like him because he's not just one of those guys that is in between introvert and extrovert. He's one of those guys that also has OT on the street level and in the boardroom level. And he's just like a complete agbero, but on the soft side, not on the street side.
Yeah, for you.
So he's a very chill guy. I'm proud to call him my friend. Now I'm proud to call him my
Wow,
friend.
thanks,
The first
man.
time we talk about friendship.
Yeah.
Remember the first time we talked about friendship?
I was
like, we're not
heartbroken.
friends, right?
I was heartbroken for real. When you looked me in the eye and you told me I am not your friend, I'm just your acquaintance. I was like, nah, this guy did
no
not.
vex. Back then it was true, and I was just. I mean, that shows how much I've grown.
Yeah, we had known each
emotionally,
other
because
for like 4 years by that time. 4 or 5 years.
Was it 4 years?
Bro, I knew you from
Because I said
2017. From 2017, I've known you.
Wow.
And 4 years after, you looked at, oh my God.
Was it 2017?
Bro, 2017, man. You were trying to sell me land
Wow.
in 2017, bro.
Yeah.
Trying to sell me land, you're trying to sell me shoe.
Okay.
There was nothing you didn't try to sell me. Try to sell me
I almost forgot about that though.
I don't even live in that. I wasn't living in Nigeria. I tried to sell me a car there.
It is not necessary anyway to make money.
Fair.
But yes, the first time I saw you physically, like in person, I thought you were like this, like Ojo Ereba guys, I guess. But from and that's why first perception is like first impression is not all about a person. Now you're one of the most kindest guys I know.
Wow,
actually.
thanks. That means a lot.
Yeah, it's just that anyone that has Ola in their life knows that Ola is like
Ola is
the kindest guy you would know.
Ola is the only kind guy.
I don't know if there's. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone that can top Ola's.
Ola is so kind; he'll be unkind to himself in the process. So I've not seen anything like that before. That one is his own special.
I tell him all the time. But I know he will never change.
Nah, he can't. He can't. It's like that.
That's how he is. Yeah.
It's like that. That's good.
Now we are yet to uncover my little story, and hopefully people learn from my
let's get into it.
Little experience. Yeah.
Let's get into the story. When did you let's get into how, first of all, I want to know like how you found out about Finland. You've had like a chapter of your life, at least your formative years and your teenage years were in Nigeria, but
all in Nigeria.
You came to Finland, I would say, how many years ago? A couple years back now.
Yes, in 2021.
So I'll just put you at mid you came to Finland. So you were already like an adult anyways. Yeah, I was a full grown adult by then. Okay, so most people from Nigeria, when you want to Japa, you are thinking the UK, you're thinking Canada, you're thinking the US, and those that have mine, you're thinking Australia. Why? Yeah, some people are thinking Australia. I had a few people that are like, I want to go to Australia. Australia is far from everywhere. But why would you choose cold Finland up north? How did you find out about this place? The interesting thing about Finland, earlier we mentioned Ola, so I heard about Finland from Ola. Ola Inka Moses, that's his full name. So Ola texted me just randomly one day. I was still in school then. And I was like, who is this? And it's like, this is Inka. I was like, Inka, how are you? Like, how are you doing? And I noticed that it was a foreign number. I was like, where you there? Like, you don't come on Nigeria. I didn't even know you had left Nigeria. Wow. Why I said I didn't know you had left Nigeria was because before he left for Finland, I put the pieces together. He didn't actually tell me. But before he left for Finland, he came to spend Christmas at our house. Okay. Right.
So before, I didn't know my mom knew all this. So maybe probably my mom just invited him over just to come spend Christmas one last time before he goes. So he came to the house and I was like, "Wow, how are you doing? A long time?" Because before them, I've not seen him in like a decade. Because we grew up together and I had not seen him in a long time.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden I saw him for Christmas. And then we played PES on this same laptop I'm recording on. We played PES. This laptop is very old.
Yeah, you knew what
I manage my
you knew what I was.
yeah, I manage my things. I bought this when I came and I've been using it. And this will last like 5 more years.
How long have you had this laptop? This is your current laptop?
Very long. I've had work done on it. So that's why like some parts of the inside is new, but the outside and everything is still old.
That's wild. That's wild. But yeah, continue. You played PES.
Yeah. So we played PES. Of course, I beat him because he didn't. I'm just going to deny.
You're the one telling the story. I know you won.
Problem.
You won.
Exactly. I'm the one telling the story. So we're happy to see each other, and then he left. And then all of a sudden, years later, he messaged me that, "How are you there?" Blah blah blah, and he told me about the land. He wanted me to check out land for him, and I said yes, of course. I'll help him check out land, and then I found out that I was going to get a commission, which was quite nice because I didn't know I was going to get the commission. But anyway, he told me about Finland because I was like, "How can you afford land?" It's like, yeah, I'm in Finland. Hey, so when I saw Finland be like, you could just go Finland, the next thing you could buy land. Like, I say it be. And then he was like, if that's what you want, then you can come to Finland. And I said, nah, I'm not going to Finland. I like Nigeria because my sister had gone to Canada then.
Okay.
I was like, if I'm tired of Nigeria, maybe my sister and I will work something together and I'll end up going to Canada. And then he tried to convince me for years, actually. And I was like, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Then when I graduated, I was like, what can I actually do in my life in this place? Not much. I looked around and I was like, maybe I should just apply for Finland. Maybe it might work. Maybe. Because when I asked my sister and my dad about Canada, the story felt very long. Like, okay, you have to work for 3 years or 2 years. Then you have to go like on a specialist kind of blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't have time for all this one. And Finland, I can just apply with just my WAEC. And then I'm done with that. So we kept in contact. If not that you mentioned it, I actually forgot that I was actually talking about you even back then also. Because I thought I was talking with you when I was doing my NYC. That's like the earliest conversation I still remember about talking with you. I didn't even know that we're talking about land and shoes back then.
Yeah,
so when you said it, I remember that. That's true. We're talking about
you had been
those things.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. You started, to be fair, you started very low. You just tried to sell me shoes. Then I said, no, I'm not buying shoes. Then you're like, how about a car? Then another time you're like, yo, I have land for sale. So I'm like, guy, you're into everything. So yeah, that was the first time I knew about you. And the name stood out. Yeah, that was Shita was like. It's even funny you mentioned that. Yeah, Shita is a quite popular name in Lagos. And it's a place. I didn't even know we're that popular. Yeah, and it's a place. I didn't know it was popular till like when I was almost getting to university. Because I'll tell my dad that where am I from? Because some of my classmates then they will say, I'm from Ibadan, I'm from here, I'm from there. And he won't even tell me where I'm from. He will just say, oh, your village has become a city. Like, what kind of proverb is that one? Like, that one doesn't even answer like the question, where am I from? You get? That's deep. So all the while he was talking about Lagos. Later on I found out I was from Lagos and all that. But yeah, so back then I was just hustling. If not for Ola that approached me that he wanted to buy land, I wouldn't even have entered land. But I managed to sell land to one more person. Wow. Outside of Ola. Yeah, I was lucky. The lady wanted to invest in agriculture, and then I was like, okay, I help my friend do this. So maybe if you're interested, I can link you guys up. And she was like, yeah, no problem. So I linked them up, and then I got the commission from that too. Hey, you're rolling in money. And I was no, I wasn't rolling in money because I was trying to sell cars. And unfortunately, back then, when you want to sell cars, you have to go physically to the car dealership to take the pictures. And I was living quite far away.
So all the transportation each time, and when you have a customer, you have to also take the customer to many places, trade them many cars.
Yeah,
So all
true.
that was burning. And this was not money from my parents or anything. This was like from my little money where they make small small. And I was also
From your
selling shoes
hustles.
too. So yeah, from my little hustle.
I got to say
So
easy.
luckily it was fake, sha, but people, if you cannot afford the original, they
I
just
know
come
it
and
was fake.
buy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looked exactly like the original. Like only professionals
It
can
did.
distinguish between the real and the fake. Yeah. I bought for my dad not so long ago because he needed something comfortable. I was like, I still remember my friend are
Okay.
selling, so just take that. So I bought a couple for him and my mom. But anyway,
That's
I was
chilling.
I was doing all that, and then Ola brought up Finland. The main reason I didn't want to go was because I wanted to work with my dad in my dad's business, and
Okay.
I was thinking, okay, probably I'm not going to get. My dad he does a lot, but he's mainly in the furniture segment. So he started
Okay.
very broad, making furnitures, chairs, stools for schools, for hotels, for offices, and then he went a bit narrow into the funeral business now. So woodworks that has to do with the funeral business.
Wow.
When we're
Okay.
on holiday, when I say we, I mean all myself and my siblings. We go to his workshop in Agric, and then there was one time he texted all of us that if you help me with my job, like I'll pay you like 1,000 naira per day or something like that. And usually after school we just flex, we just try to chill, but every morning we'll go to his workshop and work with him like till evening, and he'll buy us food, buy us water, everything, and he will give us our 1,000 naira or something like that. I was like,
That
yes,
was smart.
nice.
That was
So
smart.
he was doing, yeah. So he was doing that, and later on he narrowed in again, and he started importing some accessories that they use in the funeral business. So there is the wood that they used to make the caskets, but every other thing is from China. So he imported those things and then was selling it to his fellow guys. And then from time to
Okay.
time, some of the richer clients.
No, continue. I'm listening. I'm listening. Sorry. I was
So
going to
from
ask
time to
something.
time, some of the richer clients, they will want special kind of caskets, like metal caskets, steel caskets. Some even want like horse carriages. And of course, the Igbo guys, they are the ones that do these things. So
The lion head.
they
There's a
trust
lion
him.
head on the casket.
Exactly. So they trust him, and then he arranges everything from them. The only thing they need to do is just pay the money. Every other headache, any other thing, it's all sorted for them. He will deliver it to their doorstep. So he started doing all that, and he's so wise because he wanted to grow that business, and he started with a very limited budget. But in order to
Hmm.
grow that business, he knew that he didn't have the only way to grow that business was to leave every money inside, like no money comes out. So whatever amount he makes, it has to remain in the business. So it means he has to get another job. So then if an older uncle of his, not uncle, but in Nigeria, when there's like an
Yeah.
elder person, you call
Any
them
older person like
uncle.
that is uncle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you're
So
older than
the
big
person
brother.
in your, yeah, exactly. So your uncle at that point. So the man died, and the man had 3 hotels in different locations that he left to his kids, but his kids were not interested in in running it. So he saw one of them in Maryland, and he decided to run it. So he leased it from them, and he was running it, and that was the money he was using to maintain himself and his family.
Oh, that's sharp.
And the other money he got from the imports, he was using that for imports. So when I saw something like that firsthand, I was afraid because I didn't know if I could live up to that expectation. But I
Yeah.
was also intrigued in a way. It was stressful. It was very stressful, but I enjoyed it. So that's when I knew that okay, I think I like doing this. So in a way, I could see myself taking over my dad's business to an extent. That was just my mind at that point. I didn't really think of a reason to leave like Finland like that.
So what changed?
But,
what made you make the decision to come here instead?
Nigeria has a way of showing you shege, right? Unfortunately, I've had my ups and downs, but I know you might deny this, but you're a body guy. Even though you might say you're not a body guy. You're a body guy. I know you are going to deny it.
I grew up
I know
in
you are going to
Agege.
deny it.
Grew up in Agege. What are you talking about?
I grew up in K2 also, but the environment was like we are not a product of our environment, even though we grew up in the environments. Like we are not of the world, even though we are in the world.
In the world, exactly.
All my friends. I mean, see, Ola was my neighbor, literally, but we live totally different lifestyles.
Hold on, are we experiencing network issues?
It will happen.
Okay. We are good. Okay, we are good then. Continue.
So I mean, Ola was my neighbor, literally. We lived on the same street, the house opposite one another, but our lifestyles wasn't the same at all. But I still had my shares of hardship. But when I got to Unilag and I heard some of my classmates' hardship, then I knew that, oh wow, I was actually very privileged.
Yeah.
Because my mindset when I looked at some of my cousins, because they also, the kind of lifestyle they live and mine is worlds apart. So I look at them as the boutique guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was my idea of what boutique was like. But when people were calling me boutique, I was like, oh. I've cried because I had nothing to eat at night. Like, so it's like, how am I boutique at that point? But when I hear some people say, they soak Gary for like 1 week before they quit it, I'm like,
bro,
that one is not boutique. It's like, it's life that is doing you at that point.
That's a project.
So
that's not boutique. That's a project. What do you mean you soak by 1 week? That's a whole project. You have to let it marinate. What the hell? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I said that word. No. What do you mean soak? What are you waiting for?
So when I hear stories like that, I think everything comes full circle, because right now, what we are doing is a product of what started back then, listening to people's stories and making myself humble and making myself know that, okay, yes, I've gone through what seems like a lot, but this guy is like praying for my life at that point. And me, I'm praying for someone else's life. So it just humbled me in a way that I should just be grateful for everything good and bad that's happened to me. I should just be grateful.
Yeah, true.
Sorry, I've already spiraled. How did you even get to this point?
No. We're talking about you. Yeah, so wanting to work with your dad, right? So life humbled you.
Yeah.
You changed your mind and came to Finland.
Yeah. So when I was done with, when I finally made it, told Ola that, okay, I think I want to come to Finland. It's during the NYSC. Before I started NYSC, it was during around that NYSC time, because I started processing my Finland application when I started NYSC.
Okay.
But before then, I think I was trying to do a lot of things. I've been lucky and I've been fortunate every year of my life till I was done with school. My life has been relatively smooth. Relatively. Even though there are difficult times, it was a difficult time in a controlled environment. But now I'm done with university. So I'm out in the world on my own. Okay. I didn't ask my parents for. I mean, I could ask, but I don't think I asked. So I was just like focusing on trying to sell cars, trying to sell shoes.
Were you living with your parents?
No, I was living with my sister.
Okay, fair.
I was living with my sister, and sometimes I was living with my sister, and my sister didn't live far from my mom's office. So my mom's office is in Jibo, and my sister was living in Oimbo. So it's just one bus from Oimbo that will take me to Jibo. So sometimes my sister cooks, but boys, when you eat a lot, she'll start complaining. So in order to maintain what she's eating now, sometimes I'll go to my mom's office and eat. But just to
supplement.
Yeah. So I was just to supplement, exactly. I remember there was a time I told Ola, he was even laughing. Myself and my younger brother, my sister bought a carton of Indomie, I think on a Sunday or on a Saturday. I think it was on a Sunday, something like that. And my brother and I, we ate it in 2 days, a whole carton. And she was shouting that, why you people eat my, and she said, yeah, go and buy, don't come back to this house until you bring my carton of Indomie. So I had to go and buy another one. You know, boys were
Well,
eating. But
you
anyway,
guys are
I experienced
terrorists.
a bit of.
You're a terrorist. What do you mean
I mean, it's
your brother took a whole carton of noodles in 2 days?
right now, me, I can eat 5 noodles at once. But back then I could eat 7.
That's ridiculous. What are you doing
sitting.
with it? Are you making like noodle cake? That's wild, man.
I mean, I just had a lot of energy, and I guess I needed to take in a lot of energy, you know.
I see.
I don't know. My brother also eats as much as I do, if not even more.
Because he's a terrorist like you.
And he's much taller than me, and you know, so probably he's bigger than me, so probably he needed more energy. But anyway, that's just by the side. I was making less sales and I was running low on cash. Because now I was no longer in like selling shoes. I was out in the open trying to sell things. I was like, so if I'm out in the open, this is how things is going to be. I felt a bit of frustration. That is, if this is how things is going to be, I don't know how long I can survive like this way. So maybe I can just try to do this freelance thing. If it doesn't work, I'll still try my best to do whatever it is I want to do. But if it works, that's very cool. So I told Dola that, okay, I think I'll start. But I didn't even know where to begin. Applying for Finland felt like this very impossible thing because I knew all the things I need for Finland. I might probably have to source it myself. And at that point, all the money I had to my name was 60K. Or was it 72K? And out of that 72, no, but calm down. But out of 7K, I borrowed 3K from my uncle to keep my business alive. So I basically just add 12K to my name.
Yeah, it seems like mission impossible at this point. Like, yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And the first step to even want to start,
I don't know if I lost you.
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
All right, are you back? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I was. You were here all along. I was seeing you all along.
You were frozen. That's why. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. But can I continue now? Okay.
Yeah, please continue. Yeah.
So, in order to start, he sent me the list of things I need to start my application to Finland. And the first step is to write an exam. So step number 1 is write an exam. But before step number 1, step number 0 was to get my passport, because you need your passport to apply for the exam.
To write the exam, yeah.
To write the exam. And the exam, he was telling me the exam is like, what, 60 or 80K, which I don't have. And the passport itself is like 40K or so, which I don't even still have again. So I was like, why am I like, it's just impossible at that point. But at the back of my mind, I was like, okay, I'll try. But I know I can always ask my parents. You know, my dad always tells me that. Why is it that? Because if I ask my dad for something, he knows I've literally asked everyone else. So he knows he's the absolute last person that I come to. And he's always like, not frustrated, but he's always worried that why does he have to be like that? Like, why can't you just save yourself like time and just come and meet you? And then I was like, because around that time, I just started opening up little by little to my parents. I mean, Nigeria is not something you really do like that to be. I mean, I don't want to use my own family as a, but most people in Nigeria, we don't really have that friendship with our parents. It's always just mom, dad, and kids.
Yeah, you're not friends.
Yeah, you are never looking at it as, exactly, you are never friends. So when my dad was, I could see like, okay, he wanted us to be friends, which was strange in a way. I remember the first time my dad did like this for my hair, it was strange. I was like, okay, like, when did this?
So why are you touching me? Why are you touching
exactly.
me?
Like it doesn't do that. Like, but so it was a bit strange. But like we started becoming friends, and I told him that I don't know. I think it's an ego thing that I want to try to do things on my own. So okay. I will try to do it. But if I'm unable to, then I come to. It even gets to a point where, like I said, I borrowed 60K from my uncle. I didn't borrow it from my dad.
Yeah, I was going to ask that also. Like,
I went to my uncle to borrow money. I could have just asked my dad.
Yeah, you could have just gotten the money from your dad at a cheaper interest rate
So
too.
it's one of. My uncle just borrowed me.
Okay, fair.
But we will get to that. We will get to that later.
Okay, continue.
So
Sorry.
I was like, okay, how can I do this? I can never afford it. So I had no choice but to talk to my mom about it. And my mom was like, why you Finland? What are you going to be doing in Finland? Like, okay, what course are you going to apply for in Finland? I said, it's a cooking course.
That's an
I mean, think
African
about
one.
it. I just graduated 2-1 bachelor's
University.
geology. Exactly, that you are supposed to be thinking of how to go and get job in Chevron, Alibotin, or Total, or Mobil, ExxonMobil. You are saying you also go and cook. You also go and cook. Is it not cooking? You are cooking every day at home.
That's
You also
wild.
go and cook. And I was like, Chibi, let me even just get to Finland first. You don't know what will happen if I get to Finland, blah, blah, blah. It was a problem, but I was like, let me just start. Let me just do this. And then we'll see how it goes. Then I think my mom, I don't know if she had the money, so I had to eventually meet my dad. The offer. I need money for my international passport. So I don't know if it was him or Ola that knows. Yeah, it was my dad. He had a connect in Abeokuta in the where I can get my passport in the office there. So
Okay.
myself and Anu, we did it around the same time. Not on the same day, but around the same time.
Sorry to cut
So
you
the
off.
guy escorted.
Sorry to cut you off. For context, for those that
My
don't know who Anu is Ola's sister, and Ola is the friend here in Finland.
Oh yes.
That's talk
Ola
about
is my friend in Finland, and Anu is Ola's sister. Anu is the same person that did my hair.
which is nice.
Yes,
Good
Anu
job.
is Ola's
Which means
sister.
she's also in Finland now.
Yeah, she's in Finland now.
Okay.
So,
Okay, you can continue. Sorry.
so we started together, myself and Anu. We started together, but anyway, that's another story. A couple things happened, and our plans was delayed a little bit. So we got the passport, which was wonderful, and then we got the passport. So when I got my passport, I started my NYSC. So when I got to NYSC, I saw different people. It was interesting seeing different people. Especially, I saw a lot of Hausa guys, and I've never been in a company with so many people from the north. Don't let me just say Hausa guys, but a lot of people in the north. Some people are not just Hausa.
They don't like it. Yeah.
Kogi is also a part of the. Yeah, Kogi is also a part of the. Kogi, there are a lot of people from Kogi also, and they're also a part of the north, central, whatever. But they are not necessarily Hausa also.
Yeah.
So I saw a lot of people. I was like, wow, okay, this is quite different, because I've always been in Lagos all my life, and then I went to Abuja to do my youth service for 3 weeks, and it was quite interesting. All the while, my mind was Finland, Finland, Finland. But for now, I had 1 year of NYSC to just take a step back, try to do what I can, and also just finish my NYSC. So all the while I was speaking with you, I was speaking with Ola, and he eventually introduced a third person, which was Daniel Duru.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking about Finland all this time, and I was trying to do things. I remember when I was done with my 3 weeks program in the camp, I needed a place to stay in Abuja, because I had made up my mind I wanted to stay in Abuja instead of coming back to Lagos. So I found a church, and they agreed to take me in, luckily. So that's most of my life. Everything goes like plan. And we will get to that. That got me in trouble later on in my life. Where I
Okay.
always have this belief that no matter what happens, I always had this belief that no matter what happens, everything will work out for good in the end.
But that's
Because
true.
every problem I've gone through. Yeah. Because every problem I've gone through that seems like, okay, this is the end. That problem was actually what was supposed to happen. Like
For you to get to the next
I used
stage
to
and
go
all
back
that.
just exactly. When I got into school, or rather when I was done with my secondary school, I wrote exams, a lot of exams to get to university. I failed every one of them. And I felt I felt like a failure. This was like in 2012. I failed every single exam, literally every single exam. And I felt like a failure because I'd never failed like that up until then. So university life or after secondary school life opened my eyes. So okay, I'm not as special as I think. Because being in boarding school is a lot more controlled
Okay,
than
sorry, just to find
being
out what the
out in the open.
timelines.
This was in 2012. I just took a
And
step back
what
just
year
to
did you
see.
get into secondary school?
When I was like 9, what year was that? 2006. It was like 2005/2006, I think. Yeah. And then I graduated 2012, around the middle or end of
Okay.
2012, I think. Something like that. So
Okay, okay, yeah.
I was 15. Yes, I was 15. Or was I was 14. 14 or 15, that's when I graduated from school. I think I was
Which is
14.
quite early
I don't
anyway.
know, but it's
Which is quite early.
yeah, it was yeah. Because I've always thought I didn't think I was like super brilliant or anything, but I always feel I never have like a setback like that I have to wait 1 year for because of exams or whatever. So that was
Yeah,
my first
but
opener.
14 is still
And
quite
then
early. That means you skipped some classes then.
yeah, I had 2 double promotions, I think.
That makes sense. That makes sense now. Okay. Yeah. All right. That
Yeah.
makes sense now. So you were brilliant.
Yeah, but it wasn't special because I wouldn't say I was brilliant because when I was young, the only person I saw as brilliant was my older sister. And she was brilliant. Like my mom used to tell me stories of when they go to like birthday parties. She used to just sit down somewhere and read book. At birthday party. So that's the kind of person my older
Wow.
sister is. Yeah,
That
so
one is a
she's
bit
really
extra.
brilliant.
That's a bit extra, my
No,
guy.
it's not extreme. She's a chill person, like social person, but at that age, I guess was just curious about. But she's really brilliant. Even till today, whenever I'm thinking of
Yeah,
brilliant people, she's
that's
the
fair.
one. And she's left-handed again, so even the stereotypes are true about left-handed people. So she's really brilliant.
The aura,
So it's like I've
the
always
aura about the
yeah,
left hand
exactly.
again is on. Yeah, that you can.
Yeah. So I've always thought every bad thing that has happened in my life. Yeah, every setback was literally what was supposed to happen. If I had entered school at that time, my life would have been it literally wouldn't have been what it is right now. Literally, because I failed
Hmm.
JAMB. So that because I failed JAMB, I was automatically disqualified from in like. So I had to go write other schools, Futminab in Abeokuta, in Akure, in Nobisi, Olabisi, OAU. I wrote all those exams and I failed every
You will
single
have
one. Then, yeah, I wrote every single one and I failed everything.
Can I ask you what you got in JAM the first time?
It was 196, I think. Yeah,
You
around
were so close.
196.
You were so close to
Yeah, I
halfway.
was
It
so
doesn't
close to
mean you get into
200.
university.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. What was it like at home, by the
So
way,
that was,
when you got home?
I
You,
didn't
you
stay
got
at
your
home.
results.
I didn't stay at home. What it was at home, I mean, they were disappointed because
Like when you got the results for
at
the
that
JAM
point
now, what was it like? How did your parents receive that?
they didn't receive it well. But in a way, it wasn't new because I didn't really do well in secondary school. I didn't really do bad, but I didn't do good either. I was always like just in the back of the class kind of results guy. So I wasn't the last, but
Yeah.
I was I was
So you
like
can say they were not
40%, not average,
expecting
but
too
I was
much.
just I mean, they didn't expect I would fail JAM because it's like if you fail
40,
JAM, then
40%.
you cannot go into the university. No, I mean like average guy is someone that
Yeah,
scores like
that you don't even have a
50,
starting point
60.
when you fail JAM.
Yeah, so it wasn't like they were expecting me to blast JAM, but they're not expecting me to fail JAM either. Right? So but I failed JAM. So I wrote a lot of exams. I failed all those exams. And because of that, I had to go to private tutorship in Oshodi. And literally that's what changed. That's what changed my I don't know, it's like something clicked when I was there because I met different people and I spoke and the teacher like I don't know, the environment just opened. It's like something just opened mentally. And then I became a new person. And then I went again, wrote exam. I passed. I got into Unilag diploma. And then I failed diploma. You know, if you pass diploma, you go into 200 level. I failed diploma. And then something opened again.
Yeah, it's true.
And then I became good in university. So I don't know. It's like everything, every failure has literally been the reason why things worked out. So exactly, I don't understand. If I didn't fail diploma, I wouldn't have, something might not have opened. I don't know. Because the same thing I failed.
Yeah, how do you fail diploma?
I was like, okay,
that is a new one.
I wasn't, man, I was flexing, man. I was just chilling. Diploma I was just chilling. It got to my head. Instead of paying attention
power
in
to
class,
you. You still worked out.
Yeah, it worked out, but I was
crazy.
lucky.
That's crazy.
That's why I was saying, like, every situation I felt impossible, every setback was literally what I needed to move on to the next level. You know, so that's why I've always, all my life, I always realized that, okay, no matter what, yeah, what did
Sorry, continue. Yeah, continue first.
So
I was going to like segue just Finland, yeah. Oh
yes. So when I got to the Finland stuff, I was like, okay, how can I do this? Can I even do this? But what if I fail? But I was like, all my life, like everything that happens was meant to happen. I heard about Finland for a reason. My thinking was, I heard about Finland for a reason. So it means maybe I'm supposed to be in Finland. But even if I'm not supposed to be in Finland, let me just try, because I mean, it happened. I heard about it for a reason. So let me just, I don't believe in coincidence. Everything that comes my way was supposed to happen because of series and series and series of things that has happened all through my life. That I just felt like, okay, there's no such thing as coincidences. So from there, it was difficult, but I got my international passport.
Finally.
Yes, finally. Finally. The next part was, okay, I need to write IELTS. I was like, okay, where can I go? I searched online. I saw their office somewhere in Abuja. I went there, asked them questions, blah, blah, blah. It felt like an embassy, even the office. Like security, all that, just like if you are going to the consulate in Finland, in Abuja. It felt almost like that. There was security at the gate. Then they will ask me what I'm here. I would give them my document. Then they will let me in. Before I enter the building, there's another security, like embassy-like structure, just to register for exam. Like, I don't know, so just ridiculous.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
But then it was a lot. Yeah. And then I got there. They were like, do you need lessons? I was like, how much is the lesson? Lesson is even more expensive than the exam. Exam I could not even afford. Can I give me lesson that is even more expensive than the exam? I said, no, don't worry. I'll read it by myself.
Abi?
I didn't have any textbook, but I called my friend. There's this very brilliant friend I have, Leroy Moete. I called him. I was like, I want to write IELTS, but do you have like, because when it comes to downloading things online, that's a specialty. Don't let me cast him too much so that some agencies not pick him up. So he found a textbook for me online and he sent it to me. Until today, I remember my classmates texted me like 5 days ago. She was like, I remember you said one textbook like that, blah, 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 blah. Can you send it to me? So literally the textbook that my friend downloaded for me, I sent to her just last week. It was very, very detailed.
Wow.
The name of the textbook is actually Baron. Baron something something. Yeah, so Baron.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you, I actually wrote the book. I was happy that you finally found the book I wrote for what was the English exam again?
I see.
What English exam was it? Was it IELTS? Oh, yeah, that one, I wrote that.
Yeah,
and I'm happy I could help.
Yeah, it really helped me. And then I wrote the exam. I was scared, but I knew that if it's not meant to happen, it will not happen. So it's like I always had that reassurance within me that if it's going to happen, it will happen. And then after I did the IELTS, Ola was like, okay, let's apply. Later on, I even found out how all the application were. I didn't even know how all that side happened till he told me that you're also involved. But I just know that you did your own part, he did his part, and everything came together for good. I think you submitted on the last day or something like that.
On the very last day, man. It was a close one. I got there on the afternoon also.
Yeah.
So there was a chance if I
So
was
if you had been late,
2 hours,
you'll have missed the
1 or
window.
2 hours late, you would have missed the window. Yeah.
Yeah. So everything happens for a reason. And then the next step was like, okay, you have to get money in your account. My mind wasn't that they were going to reject me. My mind was, I've already gotten it. I don't even need to think about it. Let me just start looking for money in my account. At that point, I think at that point I was down to the 60K. Gone. My uncle 60K. The 12K have already disappeared since. So I was like, should I spend this money for this? I was like, no. I needed like 4 million or 3 point something million at that point. I only had 60K. So I went to meet Momsi. Momsi was still building our house that time. I was like, Momsi, that money you want to use to build us. So you not put in my accounts like this.
What did you ask? Wait, you need to say it again. You need to say it again first. You need to say it again first.
Our house,
family.
We relocated to. I told you I've done a lot of growing up. Back then, I need money in my account. Mommy, bring the money for the house, put in my account.
You have guts.
Mine was just like, I was just a man on the mission, right? Like, whatever I need to accomplish, that's what I just accomplished.
Yeah, I need money, you have money,
I wasn't selfish
take money.
or
No, that wasn't selfish. No.
Exactly. It was just, there was less emotion in my decision making at that time.
But you're not an emotional person. You're not. You're one of those. I don't think you're an emotional person. You're one of those.
Now I am.
You're like a secret. You're one of those projects from the future that you're secretly AI. You're secretly AI, but you've been trained so well.
No, I'm not
to AI. Pretend. You're secretly AI. I won't be surprised if your real name is.
No, I'm not AI.
I don't know, man. What futuristic name can we give you?
Actually, see something. My name is Shitabe Ayodeji Ilerioluwa David. So AI is my name. Ayodeji Ilerioluwa.
Your name is literally Shitabe AI. Bro.
Ayodeji.
Bro. Yeah, exactly. You need to pay me to keep this secret, man. I'm sorry. I will maybe need to cut this part out. We need to cut this part out. But yeah, you're definitely AI.
Yeah, we have to do it. Because if
you have no emotions.
If your mom find me, it's going to.
So what did your mom say first of all?
Actually, we'll get to that. Now I'm like 30% or 40% emotions, But we'll get to that. But back then I was like almost 0% emotions. I won't lie. I was just
below 5%.
Back then or now?
No, back then you were definitely below 5%.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I was aware of some things, but it was inconvenient, so I just disregarded all those things altogether.
Wow.
So the house, it's not like the house wasn't complete. We're living in. There were things to do in the house, but at that point she was just keeping the money just for when the money pay. So she would do like one big development to make the house better. Maybe like erect, do some things in the back. She knows what she wanted to do, but at that point, the money, she didn't need it. That's like, okay, mom, see this money that you don't need, just put in my account. So that they will see that, okay, it's not like, so they will see that, okay, it's not like because I was coming for embassy appointment, all of a sudden money is in my account. They'll be like, they'll have questions. So the money has been in my account like a year, no, like 7 months before my.
Wow.
No, like a year actually. Yeah, the money has been in my account. So from 2019, I had the money in my account. And because COVID happened in 2019, my admission was shifted to 2021. I was supposed to return in 2020. I remember, but it got shifted to 2021. So the money had been in my account for well over a year. The money was in my account. But of course, when Momsi needs it, I give her the money and she returns it, So, but my mind was like, I've already gotten it. I didn't even know that there was risks that you could get denied. It didn't even occur to me. I was telling my parents that
that's a big risk, actually. That's a very big risk. I'm surprised you did that.
I didn't even factor it. Literally, I was just telling my parents that, okay, visa. And because I was just saying it as though I was sure that I've got into the school, they didn't even really think to ask that, won't you wait till you get into the school? So I needed like 3.5/4 million in my account, and Momsi put like 2 million or so. So I still needed money to top up. So the person that Ola bought land from, I went to meet him. That can you borrow me money? And mind you, my dad is still there, right? My dad is still. I could have, gone to meet my dad, but I went the long route first. I went to meet the Alpha. If you borrow me money, how will it be? I just need it in my account. I'm not spending. And it was like I have to pay 10% interest. 10% on interest upon. I don't think I can pay it. Though. I said, okay, worst case scenario, I'll come back to him. So that was just in my mind. Okay, worst case scenario, I'll come back to that guy to borrow money. Then I didn't want to disturb my uncle that much because he was going to be my sponsor. Okay. And that's already a big plus. So the last stage was for me to get like 2 million or so in my account. So then finally I went to meet my dad. I was like, Pops Alpha, this. But we were in a bit of disagreement because he didn't want me to go to Finland. Not even just he, everyone didn't want me to go to Finland because why would you want to go to Finland? Your sister is in Canada. You can go and meet her in Canada. You just have to get a job or be a specialist in this. It was like long story. I didn't want to do all of that. So like Finland is easier. When I'm done with school, I can go to the university and study for free. That was my plan. Okay. That I'll study for free after, because back then it was still going. It's not now that it has ended.
So your plan just worked out perfectly.
That was my plan. Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'll go to school. I'll be done in 3 years. Then I'll go to university. I'll study what I want to study. And after that, I'll do my master's, and then I'll go and work in a big company. That's just my goal. I just used to dress. I wanted to shift their mind away from me going to cook, basically.
The cook. So,
yeah. And I was lucky because all this while, whatever money I had, I put it into the Japa way. To the point that I didn't really have money for food. So I went to meet the priest in church. The Alpha, I'm suffering. Like, I'm planning on I want to try to work out Finland, blah, 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 blah. But all my resources is going into that. There are sometimes I'll walk 1 hour to my place of practice, like where I was doing my NYC deployments thing, and I'll walk like 1 hour back. Just because I didn't want to enter. Yeah, just because I didn't want to enter like bike or this thing. Because I didn't really have money.
You're hardcore. Bro, how much is the bike? How much is the bike if you are just to save yourself the stress?
If I did that, I'll be spending. I spend like almost 3K every week if I entered bike like regularly.
Okay, I see it. Okay, I see.
Sometimes
I see where you're going.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I'll walk, then use bike to come back. Sometimes if I'm late, I'll use bike to go, then walk back. So it's like
then walk back. You need to balance it.
I try to balance it. Yeah, exactly. And then the church was like, okay, we'll give you some foodstuffs. So they gave me like some spaghetti, some rice, some tomato paste. Just give me anything and give me tomato paste. It's complete.
It works, yeah.
There's no tomato paste gone. So far there's Maggi inside. Don't worry, it's complete. I'll buy egg.
You can make something, yeah.
It's finished. Exactly, I'll make something work. Chibi, I'm going to study chef. Let me chef my own first.
Let me see how start practicing.
So exactly. So I was really fortunate. That's why I said I've always believed that everything happens for a reason. I didn't have a place to stay. The church literally approached me and said, "Do you have a place to stay?" I said, "No." They said, "Yeah, come and stay with us." And I didn't have money for food. The church paid me for like a year.
Your life is really going good right now for you.
Money.
One win after the other.
It's just God, like, because everything I did wasn't by my power. I mean, look at Ola. Ola remembered me. If he didn't tell me about any of this, I would. Maybe now I'll be in Canada, maybe. But there's a high chance.
Yeah, or you'll be a big businessman in Nigeria. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that. Do you know why? Because my mindset now is because I came to Finland. My mindset when I was in Nigeria, I mean, yes, I was a bit business inclined, but there's a difference between knowing something and understanding something. I'm even getting back. It's even along my journey. So when I was done with NYSC, I went to work for my dad. My dad was running the hotel at that point. So I wanted to prove to him that I was really serious about coming to Finland and I could make it work. How I was going to survive, I don't know. But I was prepared to like just come and just try. So I worked for him in the hotel for like 6 months. And when I came, he said, okay, you sell shoes, right? Okay, he wants to give me a contract. Before I came, he used to give someone else like some contract, but I was like, okay, so I need bed sheets. And maybe I'll give you the contract for the bed sheets.
Wow.
And I was a bit scared. I was like, I don't know anything about bed sheets that maybe you can give someone else the contract. And it was like, look, next time when someone like gives you an opportunity like this, whether you know how to do it or not, collect the money. Then you look for someone that knows how to do it, then give them the money.
Yeah, figure it out.
Whether you make profit on exactly. Whether you make profit or not is irrelevant. The cocoa is that you've like that thing, and that might be your first client that will refer you to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. So my mind wasn't seeing the big picture. I was just looking at always what was in front of me. Even though people be like, oh, this guy is a business guy. But I was always just looking at what was directly in front of me.
So it was more survival.
I'll give you another example. Yeah, exactly. It was survival. My friend and I, we started the car business, or rather, we were trying to sell cars together. Right now, he owns so the place where I go to sell cars, I told you that we have to go there physically to sell the car. That was a problem for a lot of us. So what he did was he solved that problem. And you can go to online and just download the pictures of the cars and sell. And if you have a client, you connect your own clients to him. And that's all. You don't need to worry about anything. They will take it on from there. And when they sell, they will give you your money.
Okay.
So you can be in Finland, you can be in anywhere in the world and sell cars in Nigeria. And you don't have to worry that they will take your client from you or anything like that. They will. Now he's worth a couple $1 million. So he has like a long-term thinking. He has like a long-term thinking. I was just focused on what
in
was
it for real, yeah.
Yeah, he was thinking about all this thing because when we were both broke and he went to rent office, I like, bro, now me and you the enter bus like Danfo, like to go and snap car. How are you renting office? I was renting an office not far from my mom's place. So I used to visit him. And then before you know, he has already gone and rent land and put gravel on it and started parking cars there. Because if you sell a number of cars for that company, they will loan you cars. They will say, okay, you can take 5 cars and pretend like it's your own. When you sell it, you give us back the money. Then the more you sell, we will increase the number of cars we give you, something like that. So he went from selling other people's cars to getting a loan for him to sell cars. Then little by little by little by little. Now he sells cars not just in Nigeria, in West Africa and like some other parts of Africa. And I think he just signed a deal not so long ago with. Yeah, is really. I'm impressed with everything that's going on with him. I look at his status and I'm happy for him. He got married, a while ago. His child is doing well. So big ups to him. He's doing well. So it's like that is different between knowing something. I love
a good come up story.
Understanding something. Yeah. So So even all that while I borrowed my money, I even borrowed it to him. Because the money was just sitting in my account. It was not doing anything. And he was like, Alpha Shita, you say you get visa money for your account. Borrow me now. After so time, I will give you 30%. I said, 30%, you sure? He said, yes. I just sent it to him. No contracts, nothing.
Yeah, your eyes lit up.
He did business with the money.
30%
exactly.
is
he did
wild.
Business with the money after 30%. He gave me 30% after 3 months or so.
That's a lot. That's a high percentage. 10%.
Yeah. He gave me 30%.
That's a lot, though. That's a lot.
And I
That's
even
a
had
lot. So
another
he's
guy
a
that
good guy.
was he does adverts. He does ads. It runs ads for like some international company when they come to Nigeria. So sometimes I also borrow him money. So I was using my mom's business, my mom's money. I mean, to be borrowing people money, and they will be giving me back some percentage. But I was working for my dad, and he fired someone, and he
Loan
wanted me
shark.
to replace the person. So the person was like was the assistant manager, and he was also the only cook. So I had to take those two jobs from him. He just came upstairs after so this person is not going to be with us again. So from tomorrow,
Sorry, I've lost your audio.
yeah, the cook. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me
Okay,
now?
I can. All right, good. Yes.
Okay. So I was helping him to manage the hotel when he was there and when he wasn't there, and I was cooking also. I'll go to markets. I'll try to write menu on the things I could cook, but I was limited with the things I could cook. There are some things I couldn't cook. So I had to find someone that could cook those things. And luckily, Daniel's Ola's brother, Daniel, his name is Daniel. Olayinka's brother could cook. So I called him, and then he was making some of those little things. And I was running the kitchen, we're selling. And my dad was impressed. He was like, okay, you did this without supervision. Like you handled it and you could do everything. So that was good.
Impressive.
So he was like, okay, well, since he was impressed, yeah. So he was like, okay, I think you'll be okay wherever you go. Like you'll be able to take care of yourself. So then he now puts the money, he puts like 2 million or so in my account. I think maybe at that point he gave me his blessing. Like, okay, you'll be okay. So he put money in my account. So the money was complete. At least what I needed in my account. My sponsor's account was also a big factor
Yeah.
that the immigration could see and be like, okay, I can take care of myself. So on the day of my graduation or the week of my graduation from NYSC, I got my admission into VAMIA, but I couldn't start because of COVID.
COVID, yeah.
I couldn't start because of COVID. So that's why I came back and I was working with my dad. But when everything cleared, when they lifted the road ban and all those things, so I had to go and apply for my visa. So I had a lot of things already set. It was just to apply and do all of those things.
Okay.
So luckily I applied. Everything went according to plan. They saw that I had a lot of activities in my account because I've borrowed people money like crazy.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, every amount that is above 200K, explain why that transaction was happening.
Boy.
So I did Excel sheet. I explained each of those things for like 6 months or so. And I sent it back to them and they approved my visa. So immediately they approved my visa, I told my dad after
they were really nice because usually
What
that's like a big red flag. I said that's usually a big red flag for embassies.
Because I didn't have contract for my other friend, but my friend that I told you that has a car business, he drafted a contract for me. So all the terms and conditions were there and everything. So I uploaded that too. And I sent it to them and I showed it to them. And I showed them that, okay, this is his name. This is also, so they saw all of those things also. So maybe that's why, because the contract was there and it was there. So also trace it in the account that it was true. So they didn't stress me at all. They approved. And then I had to come to Finland. So I got my confirmation that I was coming to Finland. I had to wait for the visa thing to come. Immediately it came. I was in Finland the next week. Yeah. So that's how I got to Finland.
That was sharp, man. That was sharp. So fast forward to when you got to
because
Finland.
while I was waiting, my mom took me to go and buy clothes. So we bought clothes. We bought fake Gucci bedsheet also.
Yeah,
we
you
bought a
guys
lot of things,
came with stuff. I remember seeing you. I remember seeing you.
Yeah.
I don't doubt
like
that. You came with things though.
I came like 60 kg.
That's a lot. You came with a lot.
I carried all those things.
That was crazy.
Yeah. I remember you came to pick me up from
Did you have you had a layover flight? You had a layover flight where?
Yeah.
Where did you come through? What airlines did you come with?
So Ola was like, I should not come through Turkish airline also. He said I should come with Qatar. Because he was like, if you come through another one, that they will stop you at the what do you call it? they'll stop you and search you more than they search some other people. That's what he told me. I just believed him because, I mean, why will he lie? He said it happened to him. So I should just go through Qatar.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to choose the cheapest flight, but it was like, no, go to Qatar. Qatar is a little bit more expensive. But
definitely.
it was still the
fairly
cheapest
cheaper.
Qatar flight. Yeah, it was still the cheapest Qatar flight because I was in Qatar for like 6 hours. Then I landed in Oslo again in Norway for like 9 or 10 hours.
You did two
like I
layovers.
stopped in places to the point. Yeah, I slept in the airport twice.
I'm sorry, man.
See, I did so much layover that I did so much. Yeah, my first time on a plane ever. Like my first time on a plane. All the time that I was going to Abuja, going to Lagos, it was bus. I would be in the bus for 12, 13 hours.
Goodness.
Just to go to Abuja and come back. Yeah.
I feel you.
So immediately I got down from the plane, I will go straight to my terminal where I'm supposed to board and I'll sleep there.
You just know this is the place. So when they announce you wake up.
This is the place.
You're not going to miss your flight for any.
This place. Okay, I sleep there. Yeah, and there are different people there. Chinese people, Arab people, African people. We're all sleeping there. I did so much. I was around people to the point that because when I left Nigeria, I did COVID test. I didn't have COVID. When I got to Finland, I did COVID test. I had COVID. So I stopped in different countries to the point that I have COVID. But I didn't know I had COVID until I came to Finland and they were like, so even when I met you guys, I had COVID.
Yeah. Well, welcome back since I seized reign of TAFTOBY podcast, and we are here interviewing TAFTOBY, following his life story, how he left Nigeria to travel all the way up north to cold Finland. The last segment, we talked about how you just came newly to Finland and you went straight from Nigeria to quarantine because you tested positive for COVID.
Yeah. After I don't sleep for the bench, I don't lick bench somehow. Like,
yeah. Tough story, man. Sorry about that, but thank God it's in the past. So walk us through. Now we're going into your life in Finland, how it has been since you started up until this moment. Is there anything you want to say first before we dive into your trip to Vasa from Pietarsaari when you landed?
Yeah, Finland, when I arrived, even before, of course, the COVID was a shock because, I mean, you see on the news people are dying from COVID and all of a sudden they tell you you have COVID. You're like, okay. But when I first landed, it was quite nice. The people were nice. I saw someone and he saw me struggling with my 40 kg load and he offered to carry it to the train for me. And when I got here, of course, you and Ola, you came to pick me up. And when I got the COVID, they asked me if I have someone to go buy food for me because Ola also had to be quarantined for like a week or so. I was like, I don't have anybody that I just landed, so I don't know if I have anybody. So they were bringing food for me like every 2 days so that I won't need to leave the house. Yeah, so it was.
Did you pay for this food or they were just bringing it for you?
No, they're just bringing it for me. And, I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Both warm food and like normal food you put in the fridge, and then frozen food you put in the freezer. So it's like complete package. I was like, came in the corner. Hey, I was like, okay, like this country likes me. Then, of course, after the COVID period, I was just working out at home, like, and of course, I'm not supposed to say this, but at night, like when nobody's outside, I'll just walk around the street just to get some fresh air.
I think you're allowed to do that. Come on. At night.
They said you should not leave your house at all. But me at night, I walk around. I cannot be in that house like for 3 weeks without going anywhere.
Yeah.
So then it was time for me to come to Vasa. Fortunately, not even unfortunately, fortunately, you were also coming to Vasa at the same time. So we had to re-transport my 60 kg load inside your car. And then we came to Vasa together. Do you remember? He
Oh
drove
my
me to
God.
Vasa. Yeah.
Do you know I don't remember I drove it? I don't
He
remember.
drove me to Vasa. If he didn't drive me to Vasa, it's like I would not have survived. Really. Like, how would I carry all that to the bus and then carry all that away from? It's not impossible.
Remember this? Wow.
And then he drove me to Vasa to the foot of my apartment. Duru was already Daniel. Another Daniel was already waiting upstairs. So he just came downstairs and we started from there.
That's good. All right. So your new chapter is starting in Vasa.
Yeah.
When was school meant to start by that time?
I think we got to Vasa Saturday. Or was it Sunday? Okay, it was Sunday. It was on a Sunday. Yes. And then the next day we're supposed to start school. Duro, of course, has already been going to school. So he was like, okay, let's go like this, go like this, go like this. And then the first day he showed me. And then I had to try to memorize it because he was like, if you use your phone for Google Maps, your phone is going to get damaged because the code has already destroyed some people's phone. Like when they're using for Google Maps. Maybe not necessarily the phone, but at least the battery. Your battery, like, yeah, it's like just go off totally.
Just
So I had to
dies.
try to memorize the routes. Okay, go here, when you reach here, go left, then go down, then walk straight till you see one, then go right. So that's how I tried to memorize the road. So I did that.
I know the dome you're talking about, the indoor.
Yeah, the indoor football. Yeah. So that's how I tried to memorize. I remember one time, after I've been doing that for like a while, Shegun, you know Shegun now?
Of course.
Shegun came to visit us then. I was curious to see where he lived. He lived in Suvilate. So I just walked with him to Suvilate. Then on my way back, I lost so many times, but God help me that day.
Oh, Suvilate is confusing.
So it was interesting. First day of class, I met a couple classmates. I met all my classmates, but I spoke with a couple classmates, the Nigerian and Ghanaian classmates that were there. There was this lady that was always shouting in the teams. She was always making noise every time. When you like this, I was like, who is owing? Because I know it's not too much. Like, I wanted to even see who this troublemaker is. And then I met Collins also, another good friend. And then, that's long friendship, and we still talk to this day.
They'll turn out to be your friends, your first friends in acquaintances.
We all struggled together. We all, spoke about a couple traumas or worries we had, especially with job, And when you don't have like a job, because I didn't have a job, and rent is always on your mind. Rent, like you have to pay rent every month, not every year, which was like another new thing because back when it's a yearly thing. Here is a monthly thing. So you have to be constantly reminded about rent. And the rent is not, when I first came, I was always annoyed. I'm always like recalculating all the price I see into Naira. And it's true, I can't help it. I always try, sir. Ordinary biscuits, 5K, like what was going on here? So like little things like that. And then the rent, when I did the rent, I was like, Jesus, when I become $100 that I'm paying this kind of money for rent? And I have to pay it every single month.
Yeah, but hold on. Sorry to cut you short. Just one small question about the rent. How much was this rent we're talking about that you had to pay your own share of the rent? Okay, so I don't want to put everybody's business out there, but I came with some money. I came with 1,000, is it 1,600 or so? That's a lot of money. Yeah, so when I was at Ola's for like a month, I was just eating turkey, like turkey first. Just a chop turkey, like say I bought half a kilo of not half a kilo. I bought like 40 pieces of turkey or something like that turkey leg from the African shop. We just chop like 3 turkey every night, like just to flange us. So I entered Vasa with like 1,000 euros. So I paid the security deposit for the apartment. I think it was 360. I think it was 360. And then I paid the first month's rent, which was another 360. So I was left with like 300 euros or so. But I wanted to use that money to do like my police card and like there's like a form of identification and some other things. So that money was reserved for a couple things I needed for my bank account and things like that. So basically I had no money, but Ola was paying our rent, myself and Duru's rent. Wow. And he paid it till we got our job in the
in the beginning of June. So when we got a job, then we refunded the money he paid. But he paid the rent and he gave us like 50 euros every month. So myself and Drew, we had to share 50 euros. So when we go to school, we will eat all the food. Whether it's potato mash or potato gratin, whatever, cause us. We go chop belly full. You have to reserve the energy, chop all the calories we can. And when we come home, we eat rice, standard rice. It's only rice we could afford.
Just
Rice
rice
and concussion. Chicken care. We buy chicken once in a while, not all the time. We started buying chicken regularly. That's when I knew I'd made it. We're buying chicken every like 2 days in July.
You mean the €3 chicken?
Yes, it was even it was cheap then. It was like it was it 199 or 219 or something like that in Lidl then.
The chicken was very cheap.
Yeah, it was cheap back then. And we'll buy back then the macaroni was 4 for €1. So we'll buy like 10 euros worth of that one. Because we know say yeah. The first couple months, I think we cooked for you also the first week or couple weeks or so.
Yeah,
so it's just rice. It's just rice and macaroni you're eating and pepper.
Yeah. Lots of rice and macaroni.
Yeah, and lots of egg also. So that's what we're just eating.
And it was
interesting. Ola came to visit us sometimes. And he would tell us that how are you guys coping? That he misses Versa. And, when we walk around, it reminds us, oh, this was this, this was this, this was this, this was this. And then he was telling us that you guys might need to, before you get a job, you might need to pick like these plastics or this can soda bottles so that you can exchange it for money. And at that time, I still had like 300 euros. So I was proud. I was like, no, I can't do something like that. I can't do that.
You're bigger than that.
I'm bigger than that. I was like, don't worry, I'll get just soon and all this will be behind us. 2 weeks after that, I started picking up. I went to the beach. But I only picked like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So like 6 a.m. I'll wake up from Olympia to the beach and all around the center. I'll pick. Then I'll pick till 9. So 3 hours of picking, then 9 or so, or 8 or 8:30 or something. That's when Lidl opens. And I'll just walk straight to Lidl, exchange my plastic for money. Yeah. That's how life was back then.
On an average day, when you go and pick for your 3-hour shift, how much do you really get when you exchange?
Like €5. Yeah, it's like €5. But guess what? €5 will feed you for 2 or 3 days. So.
How do you make €5 work? We shouldn't stay this long on this section, but I just need to know. Just a few seconds. How do we make €5 work?
Back then it made a lot of sense. Now it doesn't make sense because I can't live on €5 for even 1 day, say, for less of 3 days. But back then we'll buy the rice, like 1 or 2 rice. Then we'll use the rest to buy macaroni. That's all. He has his own maybe 5 or 10 euros a pick. And then you buy like tomato paste and things like that. We don't even used to buy, we could not afford tomatoes, fresh tomatoes. It's canned tomatoes that was also like 4 or so for €1. When I knew I made this, when I started eating chicken regularly and I was able to buy fresh tomatoes. That's when I knew I made it. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, man. Thank God.
Thank God. It's been God.
So walk me through how you got your first job, because you said Ola was helping out.
Yeah. So when I told Ola the story, he was telling me that I was mistaken. So I'm not sure if the story is accurate, but this is how I remember it. Duru used to use my phone to call sometimes like different people that was asking for like a job. And then a lady called me back. I don't know, someone was calling me, what's going on? So I picked up the phone. It happened to be a supervisor at Seoul. Seoul is a cleaning company in Finland. And her name was Pia. So she was, she was a little bit, from her tone, I could tell that she was a little bit angry. So I was like, what is this person even saying? I don't understand. And she started saying it in English. She was like, you've been calling me all through the weekend. Who is this? I like, me, I not call you. I think it's my roommate that called you. I think he needs a job. You're like, have you submitted your this year so website? I was like, I don't know, but I'll ask him. But like, okay, submit it, then send me like an email or like a text message or something. I was like, just like that. Okay. I said, no, but I'll tell him. When I got home, I told Daniel, and then we both did that, I think. But he also knew people like that work in Seoul. I was speaking to, so I think they also did a form of recommendation to Pia, which was the name of the boss. So Pia enrolled him. He started working before I did. He started maybe a week or two, or maybe, I don't know, but he started working before I did. And he was working in the construction site, in the construction building itself. When I started, I was working as a cleaner for the offices around the construction site.
Okay.
And that work happened to be even more chill than the construction side, because when people are on break, I can't claim. So I just have to wait till they leave. I ended up doing that till I had to go back to school again. But that fun didn't last long, because when I had to go back to school, I was like 3 months or so without that job. But luckily, I got another job again where I could deliver newspapers. The name of the place is Finbox. So it's almost like posting, but it's like the alternative to posting.
Yeah.
They do similar things.
Yeah, I'm
Basically.
getting.
So I deliver newspapers, and it was a bit chilly, getting chilly that time. It was August, October, it was getting chilly. But people were already telling me that, look, when winter comes, that it's going to be serious. So just enjoy this time.
And you were delivering with.
Yes. Interestingly, someone gave me his bicycle, but he said I have to fix something. So I fixed that thing, and the day I was supposed to start at Finbox, they stole that bicycle. When I got downstairs, I saw my chains on the floor.
Oh, horror.
Yeah.
What did you?
I had no choice but to buy. What did I do? Did I buy? Yeah, I bought a bicycle. What did I do? I bought a bicycle. I don't know if it's from Facebook Market, or I went to like a bicycle shop to buy like a second-hand bicycle. But I had to quickly get a bicycle, and I bought a bicycle again. And then I started using it. Yeah, I think something like that is, it's been so long. It's been like 5 years ago or so. Yeah, 5 years ago.
Yeah. 5 years now.
Yeah. So I was doing that, and you have to deliver the newspaper like before 6:30, I think. Yes, before 6:30. So I wake up like 4. No, I wake up like 3:30, then start 4, then deliver till 6:30, then I come to school. Back then I was saving. My expenses were low. So even at that, I was still able to save like maybe 30% or so of my money.
Wow.
From that, because my expenses were very low. I was living with someone, and I was eating at school. I only need to eat like dinner at home. That's how I survived till Soul called us back to come and resume work again as evening shift at the construction site. Yeah, we started doing that. Then that job lasted for another 1.5 years. So that job was responsible for carrying most of us through our school. If not, man, things will have been really, really difficult for most of us. So I'm always grateful to Pia and to Soul for giving us that opportunity to work. I don't know how I'll survive really without that work.
How long did you work with Soul? A total of just the summer?
Like about 2 years.
Okay.
No, okay, total, because no, it was almost 3 years, so 2.5 years. 2.5 years.
Oh, that's nice.
Because when the construction site was over, I had to go clean ULE office, some ULE offices.
I didn't know about it actually. So
yeah, it was interesting.
And then if you say 2 to 3 years, then that means when you were done with school was around the time you also stopped working with Soul.
Yes. So a friend of mine, my classmate, who also happens to be my friend, he has experience working in restaurant. So he finished a year early or so. That's when I found out, you can finish early. But I did. So interestingly, when the construction site was over, we had like 3 to 4 months of no work, like at all, no work. So from November till like March or February or so, to March, there was no work because construction site was over. But I had like a 5 hours per week shift or so at ULE office. Is it 5 hours or 6 hours? Something smaller, but something that was not really, you can't really use it to pay your bills.
How did you survive for 4 months without
So
work?
because my overhead was so low, like really, really low. Back then my overhead was 500 euros per month with feeding, rent, like everything combined. It was like 500 euros per month.
Wish I
So back then I because I wasn't really doing anything with my money. So it was just there. So I had like maybe 7 or 8K in my account. So what I did was, okay, I need somewhere to live, right? So I paid like my rent for like 6 months in advance because I didn't even want to think about rent. As I said, rent is always like problem. So I paid like 6 months rent in advance, and then I was still left with like almost 3K.
Well, wait, hey, hold on. How did you have 8,000 in your account as a student? What
I mean,
type of
I was making like 1,005 every month,
okay?
and I was
And you were
spending only 500. So I was saving like 1,000 euros every month back then.
that's a lot of money, my guy.
Yeah,
For a student that is just
it was,
working
and
part
it
time,
is.
it
Yeah,
still is a
exactly.
lot of money. Like you're working part time and you're able to save.
Yeah,
That's
and
kudos to you.
it will come back in circle. Like you get what I mean when we come to the present. Um, that same money or that similar that time. So I was jobless basically. So when I was a friend of mine was like, ah, you don't have job, come and work for Scandic. That Scandic is looking for someone. I was like, really? He said, yes, Scandic is looking for someone that is going to. So he told the manager of the hotel, and then the manager invited me, spoke to me just to feel me out, and I was like, okay, you can start since your friend vouched for you. The same friend I said finished a year earlier
Early,
because he
okay.
has experience. Yes. So I started working for Scandic. The money was even more than sold. That's when I knew that okay, restaurant pays more than cleaning because everything I've been hearing so far is restaurants is very stressful and it's about the same money as cleaning, but no, a restaurant pays more than cleaning. So I was working there for like for like 3 months, and then I had to do my practice there. So that's where when I started my practice, they stopped paying me. They're like, yeah, I did practice, so I'm not going to pay you. So
Anything for them
that's
to save money.
yeah, exactly. Anything for them to stop paying. So I was just jobless around that time. And then when I was doing my practice in November, I think, there was really nothing I was doing. So I went to meet my supervisor and I asked if I could start my practice that was supposed to come the next year. So she was like, why? I was like, I'm jobless. I put on puppy face. But at the end of the day, it was everything I said was true. I was in line. And I was like, okay, if you find a place, I'll approve it. So I found a place. I did my practice so I went to school in the morning. We finish 4 or 3 sometimes. Immediately from school, I go to my practice to do the closing shift till like 10:30. And then I did that all day, all day, all day. And then I did another practice again in Germany because I was jobless. So I could now travel to Germany. The school agreed to pay for us to travel to Germany. And I traveled to Germany. If I had a job, I wouldn't go. So I
How
traveled to
yeah.
Germany, did another practice there for like 3 weeks. Yeah. And they even offered me a job where I did my practice. But I was like, no, I don't think I can. I don't think
Wow.
I can start all over again because if you
Where were
leave,
you in Germany?
I was in both house. I'm trying to pronounce it how they say it in like the German
Your
language, but it's both house. It's both house basically. That's the English translation. Both house. Really, really, the chefs really, really like they are just like your pals basically. When it's busy, but afterwards they are asking you questions like, "How are you?" Blah blah, like basic stuffs. And the SJ was like, if you really, really want to work here, I'll do all your papers, everything. You start here on like a permanent residence or something like that. That they're going to do that. Yeah, but I couldn't start all over again. How will I start all over again, like in Germany?
well, I get what you're saying. That's true, but I wouldn't
Yeah,
call that starting over again. You are on a student. For those that don't understand how it works in Finland, you have a student visa, then you
yeah,
transition to a work visa. Then from the
yeah.
work visa, you can get a
To
permanent
permanent
resident.
resident. Yeah,
But this, and you are on stage one, student visa,
yeah,
and this
student
man
visa.
he offered you a path directly to permanent.
To permanent resident, yeah.
Wow.
But
Wow.
at the end of the day, also, I couldn't, even if and it was very serious. But I couldn't still accept it because it would mean starting all over again. I know nothing about Germany, know nothing, so it didn't make any sense to
Don't
me.
know if you will like it or
Yeah, I don't know if
anything.
I will like it and all that. Even though I know I'm going to learn like a lot, but that's just how life is.
Let's
So
keep it safe.
yeah, exactly. So I came back, and then when the last 6 months of the school is practice, but I've already done my practice. So I decided to leave Vasa and relocate to Jakobstad, where I live right now. I live in Jakobstad, it's an hour and a half from Vasa. So then I came here because my friend also told his boss that I'm looking for a job. And interestingly, see how everything lines up somehow, how nature works. Like 2 or 3 people were leaving at the same time. So they really needed somebody. Before, if they didn't really need someone, they would be like, oh, can you speak Finnish? Can you? The immediately I just came like, they're like, oh, my bro, we need you. Like, how far? When I go to start? I like, I can start anytime or just tell me when. So I started, permanent contract, everything. I applied for like my visa, so I didn't have to worry about that anymore. And I've been working here for like 3 years now. So time just flew just like that. Yeah.
Already
And here
been
we
3
are
years.
today. Yes.
Wow.
And here we are today.
So that's very nice. That's very heartwarming. Seems like you've had like so many tough times, but there is always an opportunity there that you just hold on to.
Yeah. I mean, of course, there are so many things I didn't say because if I have to say so many things, it will be too long a story, you know. So
Hmm.
just to summarize it, that's what go right on. And even after I paid off that my rent and everything, when I got started working here, I was living with my friend. So my overhead was still like 500 again. And I wasn't even cooking. I was buying food like every day, but my rent was like really low. If you buy, and we had like discounts, so I only needed to spend like €6 per meal. So if you spend €6 per meal every day, and you can eat as much as you want, it's a buffet. You spend €6 per meal every day, and maybe you don't even really need to eat much after that. Times 30, that's what.
180.
Yeah, so it's still not.
So it's still nothing. 180
Yeah,
for feed.
exactly
Yeah,
for
that's
feeding for the whole month. There's still not. So at the end of the day, I saved some money, about 10K or so, and I sent it home. I sent it home. My dad.
hey
So I just sent it home because if the money is with me, I might just do something rubbish with it.
ten
There was
thousand.
a business that I could invest in, and it will generate some money. And so I just put it there. And the interesting thing, when I say to come full circle back, is the interesting thing is I want to study in school next year. So that 10K that I put back then, that's what's going to help me. That's what's going to save my life now when I start studying next year.
Did the investment
Yeah.
bring results?
Yeah. I've withdrawn like so far like maybe 8 million or so, or 9 million. And if you convert the money now back to euros, it is still 10K. Even with
That is,
inflation, with all that,
after taking the 8 million, you still have 10K
I
worth.
still have 10K. Like if you convert it to euros, yes, it's still 10K.
Wow. But
Yeah.
that's a lot of money. That investment
Yeah.
has grown there because even with the inflation and everything,
Yeah.
well, it was a good investment.
yeah, but of course in business there's like risk involved. And people just see investment and they just think, oh, okay, you put your money and you get money, which is true for a lot of investment. And low risk, low reward. But this one is not. It's not risky per se. It's not risky. It's not a risky investment. It's just that I also participated to an extent in the business also. So, and I wasn't getting paid for that. So I guess it's a family business anyway. So if you invest, you're helping family, and if you participate, you're still helping family.
And you're helping yourself too, regardless.
Exactly, and I'm learning also, learning from the best guy to learn from when it comes to business, which was my dad anyway. And everything
You need
still,
you need to shoot an
no
episode.
matter how bad things get, I think I've been spoiled. Not financially or anything. I think life has spoiled me to the point where I started to realize it little by little from when I was younger. But it didn't really click because, there are little things. Like, for example, Ola came to my house one day when we were really small, like really small. Before I was 10, yeah, like 8 years old or so. He said, "Oh, I played this game. The name of the game is Mortal Kombat." I was like, Mortal Kombat, I've never heard that before. So I was like always wishing to play the game, always wishing. And finally, miraculously, I was able to play the game somehow. And then someone mentioned this Jet Li movie, The Bodyguard also. And I was always wishing to watch that movie. And somehow I just followed my dad to his friend's house one day and he happened to have the movie there. Little, like things that I wish for just keep happening little by little. To the point that I didn't even wish again. I was like, I don't want day for this country again. But I didn't want. And all of a sudden, Finland just appeared on my door. I came to Finland. I didn't have a job. I was like, well, to be okay, to be okay. And then I got a job and then I lost the job, but I didn't worry. I was like, okay, I worried, but I just knew generally everything will be okay. And what I didn't realize then is life give and it takes. So everything I had to give back was not as significant. Until recently, I was like, oh, I have to be careful what I wish for because I asked for something really, really big. And then life gave. And then when it came knocking, it tested me and it took a lot also. But regardless of what troubles I go through or what challenges I go through, I just have this belief that everything that happens is supposed to happen. There's no coincidence. If I get deported today, so it's supposed to happen. I'll be very sad though. For like 1 year, I might even be depressed. After that, I'll part of the reason why I said I've been spoiled also is because I've been surrounded by incredible people. I mean, I came to Finland and somehow I've just been surrounded by incredible people. You, for example, you look like a Jagaban. Yeah, you look like a Jagaban, but at the end of the day, people don't know that you have like a marshmallow heart. You're a very, very
Very
good guy.
soft.
Yeah, you're
But no,
very soft. You're very
guy,
soft.
don't play with
No,
me,
you're
bro.
not that guy. You're very soft. And when someone sees how soft you are, they can't really match it to the face. But it's quite interesting the kind of people I'm surrounded by. Very, very incredible people. And
No,
that
thanks.
has its good sides and its bad sides. When you're constantly surrounded by people that are good, you probably think most people are good. Yeah.
That's great.
Till life now give you somebody that is not good and that you learn a very, very harsh lesson that way.
Wow. This
Yeah.
is actually getting really deep. So one thing I've learned from what you've said so far was you somehow used the law of attraction without even knowing it. Because
That one is deep. I
it is
cannot,
very deep.
I
If
cannot
you
really
look at
say that. I was just lucky. Isn't
is
through
it luck
life.
though? Is it luck though? How many times does something have to happen for it to seem like for you to attribute it to luck at some point?
Because I can't like, I have no control over it. And it's not something that I deserve per se. It just kind of happened. Some people might call it destiny, which is true. But I don't even know. I don't know. It's not like I deserve any of these things, both good and bad. So regardless, I'm like thankful for everything.
Wow. And you're also an optimistic person. You're very not skeptical. What's that word? What's that? There's a word for it.
I'm in between. When I speak with my very good friend, our very good friend, he always says, "Oh, bro, you're so pessimistic." I'm like, no, I'm optimistic, but there's also this side that you're probably ignoring that my eye they look where we say, that side itself, if it happen, so
That's being
yeah,
realistic. But optimism, true optimism, by the way, I read somewhere that it's not believing that everything goes well every single time, but it's believing that in the long run, everything is going well. So in
yeah,
between,
I believe
you
that
will encounter something. Yeah. So I think that's
everything
how.
eventually will go well.
But it's a very hard pill to swallow, though, especially if you're going through the
Yeah,
hard times.
yeah. But I just try to that. I just when I look back, I see all the times that I just see all the times that I thought this situation is just impossible. So many circumstances was impossible, but now I'm like,
Do you want to give me?
I mean, I can give you two. No,
Okay, good.
back then I thought my biggest problems in life were academic, because for the most part my parents like, okay, focus on schooling, don't worry about nothing. We'll try to provide like financially for you so you don't have to work. A lot of my classmates were, not a lot, but some of my classmates were working while going to school. I'm in university now, so I didn't need to do any of that. I just need to focus on school. So I'm really incredibly grateful to my parents for providing me with that. In secondary school, yes, I was asked to go to arts class because my grades were terrible. I thought my world had ended because I wanted to be like my uncle. My uncle studied engineering, and I wanted to study engineering, but they were telling me my brain is not for engineering. So I needed to go to arts class. And my world felt like it was over. But I was like, no, I will. What are the requirements for me to remain in engineering class? They told me the requirement. They were like, okay, if you can do well in your first semester, then we won't immediately deport you. But if you do well up to the third semester, then we'll just let you remain. And fortunately, something in my brain just clicked, and it was like an upgrade somehow, because I was very, very, very silly, and then I became just a little bit silly. So that's all I needed to cross over. And then jam became jamming. I thought my world was over because everything had just been going according to plan. So I had to wait home for a year. And that waiting home for a year, really, that's what made me, that's one of the most crucial, like, really, I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't wait 1 year, because someone told my mom about a tuition place, like a schooling place to go learn. The name of the place is Adams College. And then my mom sent me there. They also had a boarding school. And I met so many people, and somehow something by meeting those people and also learning from the teachers and all that. And also with the fear of disappointing my parents. I don't know, something also a little bit opened again. So I went from very silly to just silly to, okay, let's try to figure things out. Then when I got into the university, I failed woefully again, and then something opened again. So it's like there were just series of steps where I felt like my world has ended, and then it was very crucial for the next part. If those things didn't happen, and I don't know how things will have played out. So everything just kept happening. Like even when I did my NYSC, I tried to work it to Lagos, but somehow the workings ended up in Abuja. So I was like, okay, let me just go to Abuja. And then when I wanted to work it back to Lagos, then someone approached me and said, oh, we have a place for you to stay if you are willing to stay in Abuja. It was a church. And they came to church only just that one Sunday. And that was the only time I went to church. The last Sunday, I was like, let me just go to church. And I went to church, and literally, like, I went to church close to the end of the service. And when I entered was when they were announcing that there was free accommodation.
This guy. What is this?
So everything, and then when I got to the compound of the church, my brain just like, I just saw my foolish ways, and I was wondering how I survived all that. Like the people I met, the pastor I met there is not just like a pastor that just preaches. He will say, come, take this book. I started reading books because of him, like
Wow.
non-fiction books. He had like a whole stack of books like this. He'll take this Dale Carnegie book, go and read it. And from that, my mind just started opening and opening and opening. And everything literally just was meant to be. So
Wow.
when I go back to Nigeria again, I'm actually going to go see him.
Do you plan to go to Nigeria anytime?
Yeah. My mom is going to retire in February.
Next year.
February. Yeah. So I'll go home and just celebrate with her.
And this is your first time going back to Nigeria after going to maybe 6 years.
It's going to be 6 years. Yeah. I left Nigeria the 26th of February. I got to Finland the 28th in the evening at midnight or so of February. So it was like 48 hours. Like a 48 hours journey. But yeah, I left on the 26th of
So it'll
February.
be exactly 6 years actually.
Yeah, about 6 years. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's going to be an experience when you see Nigeria for the first time in 6 years.
I mean, I asked you also, I think I asked you and Ola how Nigeria was. Like where you
Yeah.
guys went. As much taste changed. But he went to visit someone in K2, I think. And we grew up in K2. I mean, how is K2? Did it change? Blah blah blah. It will be interesting for me to see by myself.
Yeah.
And I just plan to visit some places that I could not afford to go. And I'm not saying it like a bush place. It's just like I want to try to. I want to go to. I've been to a cool hotel like twice, but it's for like a school thing. For a school thing, but I just want to go just to see if my luck would just lead me to like meet with somebody. And also, like, I want to speak with the head chef about something, or maybe with the chef there. If I'm just lucky to
That's
just
something cooking.
no, not necessarily. I just want to appreciate the place. Just go to it because I've heard a lot about the head chef. I don't know if they've even changed the head chef, but the head chef I heard about is a lady. So I just want to go there just I go to some other places also on the island, some restaurants, just to see something.
You're
After
going
that,
to sorry, continue first.
After that, then I have like I'll go to Abuja, of course, to see my the pastor, the priest, and then meet like two people. There's a childhood friend that grew up with myself and Ola, and we connected again. And she's in Abuja, so I didn't even know she was in Abuja all this time. But I was just gonna visit her in Abuja. And there's another person I also met, and then I'm going to visit in Abuja, and just to see basically people in Abuja. Yeah.
Are those people do you have any idea if those people are still there though in Abuja?
Hey, if they're not there, then I guess we'll speak on the phone and just say hello. But most of them, I think, are still there in Abuja.
It's going to be a wholesome experience for you when you go back because you
Yeah.
get to experience the city you grew up in from a different angle, from the angle of someone that's, that may be able to afford to experience life like that differently. Because, maybe when you were in
Yeah.
Lagos, it was a different ball game. You were a student, you're still figuring things out. When just to visit,
When I was in Lagos, there's places I couldn't even dream of going. Like when I was in Unilag for 5 years, and I didn't go to a lot of places. Like I went to Oshodi for schooling, but when I went back again after I started Unilag, was to sell cars because somehow I found a place that I could sell their car in Oshodi. They just also sometimes I'll trek. Sometimes I'll trek from Maryland to Oshodi just to go there so that I'll not be able to so I won't waste money on transport. I call it waste money on
Maryland
transport.
to Oshodi.
There's a shortcut. There's a shortcut.
Okay.
If you enter one place, you come out from the under bridge. There's a place. There's a way you can get there.
This guy.
And I also trekked from Unilag also to Jibo because I used to sell shoes, and the Aboki people that own the shoes, I did business with them for a while that they let me go with their shoe without paying. So if I sell, I just bring back the money. And the shoes that I don't sell, if I say people don't like this shoe, they will let me swap with another shoe that I like. And sometimes if I don't even have money to buy shoe at all, I'll just take pictures, upload it. So that was in Jibo. So sometimes I walk from Unilag to Jibo, take pictures and walk back, or take some shoes, walk back.
You're saying like,
and sometimes if one guy have killed me, I'll walk from Unilag to my mom's office. I'll eat, then I'll walk back.
hey, did you have to walk though?
Bro, I cannot waste 100 naira on transport when I can walk. What am I doing in my life?
How did you waste 100 naira? That's the point of transport, so you don't
Bro,
have to walk.
100 naira is bread and beans. Bro,
and if there's hot sun in Lagos, you're just trekking under the sun.
I will. Back then, they used to just describe me as the boy that has afro and wears three-quarter jeans and flip-flops. So I'm cool. Breeze, it's auto, but cool breeze is blowing with my baggy jeans and baggy clothes.
Yeah, it sounds to me like you're trying to make it sound nice. Like, guy, you are going through a lot. You are going through a lot. What do you mean? Cool breeze was blowing you. Lucky for your afro, Sha.
Yeah. The afro protected my scalp. If not, well, I'm thankful for everything that has happened.
But this is an important question. You can choose not to answer this if you don't want. If you go too deep, is there a point here in Finland over the last 5 years that you have really felt like you different things come up and then somehow you just push through and then you get to the next stage? Was there a point here in Finland where out of these things you've mentioned or another one you didn't, and that you felt like, "Ah, this one that you doubted that your big optimistic point of view"?
I think my issues so far, or whatever issue I had to overcome, was me not having like a job or a stable job to get stable means of. It's when I left school, or when I finally moved here, that for the first time I had a permanent contract that was stable and stable work. So I always had at the back of my mind that, okay, this job can be gone next month. I was constantly worrying about this. But at the end of the day, I don't have like ego that I cannot like just move out of my apartment and go and share a room with 3 guys. Like I can definitely, even till today, I can still do that.
Right now,
Yeah, I can. If I get to Vasa, for example, in short, immediately I get to Vasa, I'm sleeping on a guy's couch. Just so like the first couple months, I'll just see how things are, how I can rearrange my stuff.
wow, that's that.
Because there's tuition to pay and all that, but I, of course that's future talk. But I'm hoping to get into school, and I'm hoping to study in Swedish language. So
Shouldn't it be free when you study in Swedish language?
yeah, so according to the website, they put free, but they now put something on there again, which I don't really understand. But at the end of the day, when I get there, I'll get it. But just in case, my mind is okay. I'm paying tuition for 1 year because I'm going to apply for permanent next year. So then upcoming tuitions, I won't need to pay.
Wow, that's weird because I think studying in the language should automatically be free.
I hope
Studying in
so.
language is free. So I hope that still stands.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm going to apply for. Yeah, I don't really have a clear like part of where I want to be. There's just like a general goal. Okay, make I just see how I go take reach there, like last. So it's not like I have one master plan. Okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, I want to study this. I don't know exactly how I'll end up achieving that because that's the whole point of. That's the reason I came to Finland anyway. Of course, for a better life, and not also to study like a particular course. All this merry-go-round, yeah, they do now because I know if you afford like the tuition fee, but, now I'm going to try to do that and then see how that worked out.
You never gave up on your goal even after 5 years.
No, because 5 years is not. I don't think it's long compared to the next 50 years. Yeah, even if it's 10 years, like afterwards, like what are you going to do? Of course, I like what I'm doing now, but I don't love what I'm doing. It's just a job.
What do you love
Just
to
like
do?
I love to create. I love to create things. I used to create music. Not okay. Don't let me use that word. Create music. I used to try to write music back when I was young.
And
Even
you
though
play?
but it was like the recorder and harmonica. Yeah, so I had like a song book. I'll be writing the notes, but I didn't. When I learned how to play, I didn't learn with do re mi. I learned with A B C D E. So like my song books are filled with A B C D E, but later on I found out okay, A is do. When I got to secondary school, I found out those things. But in primary school, I used to learn another way. But I've been
On the
quite fascinated.
recorder is
Yeah, on the recorder and also the harmonica. The harmonica, I just okay, it's supposed to be. You can easily find notes if you play long enough. You try to memorize where it's supposed to be, and when you play for a while, you get the feel. Okay, this is where I'm supposed to excel. This is where I'm supposed to inhale. So like all those things is quite interesting, and I think it was only a matter of time before this happened because I do these things offline, and I must admit it's not like I was shy, but I procrastinated because it would be awkward for me doing things like this because I'm quite a reserved person. But I just had to force myself to do this. now here we are.
What pushed you? What pushed you to? Because I remember the first time you told me the idea,
Yeah.
I took you serious because you usually don't just say things and just for
Yeah.
the sake of saying it. But
Yeah.
I was curious to see how you would pull it off. And then you messaged me again saying, I have this down. I have the whole plan for what the show is going to be like. And then I
Yeah.
challenged you once, like, for me to think you're serious, I need you to record something. Record something
Yeah.
first. Let me hear
Yeah.
that you're serious. It's talk until you record something. So here we are now. And how
It's
many
been
so far?
so far, I think 9 episodes.
Wow. Long form.
It's interesting. It's interesting you said that because actually all this is actually thanks to you. I've had this idea since 2023, but I was thinking of it to be a book club. So I was like, okay, what would the name be? Tales from the ones before you, tales from those before you. Like I was trying, what would it be? I was like, TAFTOBY, tales from the ones before you. I like the way that sounds. But from the name, tales from it was things that had to do with books, not even is like in written format. That idea actually was inspired by something I did back when I was doing my NYSC. So I used to write for the fellowship. You know this Rhapsody, this open levels kind of thing. I wanted to do that for the fellowship because the fellowship needed money. And I was like, okay, well, we can do this and then we make money from this. So I did like 3 episodes of that. And we spent like 3,000 and we got like a K from spending 3,000 because no, but it's not business. It's just sentiment. The church is the easiest place to make money.
Controversial?
No, it's not. It's facts. The church is the easiest place to make money. If you have a business and you are well known in the church, if you approach all those elders, they will support you. Just because, even though they don't believe in your business, just because you're involved in the church, like they see you every time. So even before I approach people, I joined the drama team just so that people will see my face and they'll be able to relate my face when I approach them finally. They'll see my face. I was scared to be up there, like on stage, acting and all that, but I had to do it anyway because I knew, okay, 1 month from now or 2 weeks from now, I'm coming to ask you for money. So you cannot say no because now I'm part of the church, So the church is the easiest place to make money. So when when I prepared so the books that the priest gave me, like all those Dave Carnegie, also win friends and influence people, I will take some of the points I learned from that and pair it with like a scriptural thing and just combine everything and make it something. And then I did 3 episodes of that. It consumed me, man. It took a lot of my time, but I made it happen. And then we're like, okay, we can do this. Like this is something we can do because you don't need to spend much money to make money back from the church, especially if you're a part of the church. So that was what gingered me to be like, okay, because I listened to a lot of audiobooks also. I was like, okay, I can transcribe this audiobook into something else, make it like some bullet points of something, do like a newsletter, something like that. So that was my plan for that until I was like, let me just, then that happened. I reached out to you. My dad was also doing some things, and I was like, actually, all of this is making sense. But when something happens, I don't really just view it as a coincidence. I think it was meant to happen. So back then, when you challenged me to make a video, that was one of the most difficult things in recent times that I've ever had to do. It took me 2 weeks to just come up with that 2 minutes video. About 2 weeks. And it was
I told you. I think I gave you some days. I can't remember.
Yeah. And it took me 2 weeks to come up with like about 2 minutes video to do everything, It was very difficult because I didn't know what I should say. I didn't know what I should do. Now, shooting a video is the easiest part. The idea is even more difficult.
The production is the main work.
Yeah, the production is more difficult. The shooting video is very easy. Now it's very easy. Back then it was the most difficult thing, but now shooting video is the easiest thing. It's everything before and after. That's where the problem is.
Wow. This
I
guy.
remember now I'm pitching to people. I'm like, I told Olafa, maybe we'll do our one podcast. It could be me and you for that podcast. Blah, blah. So it would be like because TAFTOBY is like a network. And then under TAFTOBY, there's TAFTOBY TV, which is this podcast. But the TV has different segments. So this is a mini biography series now. But there's like another segment that is going to come. Maybe mini biography series releases every Friday, for example. There's going to be another segment that I don't know, maybe every Wednesday. And then I spoke with a lady. She went to business school. And another lady, these other ladies, they are both brilliant. Man, women are quite brilliant. So this lady, she just like you, because you're also very brilliant. She learned Swedish language without going to school. And she recently just wrote a UK test and she passed. She got B1 level, so B2 level, something like that. And me, my brain, I don't they go language school. When I wrote my test, A2 I got to, like, bro, I'm on A2 level with all my language skills. But yeah, I'm beginner level. She is intermediate level, which is really good. For someone that didn't even go to any school, because it's not about going to school, it's more about the practical part of speaking and listening and all that. So I'm going to write it next year. And I hope to be at least B1 level. But anyway, I spoke to her. She does this. She does video stuffs here and there on Instagram and things like that. And it's about like finance. I was like, I have this idea. If we can have like a business and personal finance segment. Because I'm interested in some things. On my own, I was already interviewing people off camera about like real estate, about like restaurants and things like that. And like, so those are things I've been doing offline because a lot of them don't want to appear on camera. So they just want to, if I'm not recording, they will speak to me. So I spoke with a lady that has like 10 apartments here in Jakobstad. And she told me of another man that has like 30 apartments here in Jakobstad. And she's going to introduce you to that person. So I'm doing all of these things. And I'm like, okay, I can rephrase what they are saying and bring it out. But if it's only me, honestly, I won't be able to do justice to that. So that's why I approached the lady that went to business school. And this other lady that has been doing some talks here and there on finance. So it will make a lot more sense. If there's like a panel discussing this thing. And with me, our life is just like everyday life. The things we talk about, we play game with banter. When Davido album comes, we shit on it and I defend Davido. When Whiskey album comes, I always shit on it because I love Whiskey. This guy now is Starboy. I don't like Starboy. I love Whiskey of the past.
Yeah, Starboy.
Yeah, I don't like Starboy.
I'm such a toxic fan of Whiskey, and he's been like that.
And I've noticed something. People that like Whiskey like Drake. So I don't understand where
toxic, bro, it's a toxic circle. Yeah, all of them have a vibe. Very rude people.
Very rude.
Yeah, I've never seen a Chelsea fan, a Whiskey fan, or a Drake fan that is polite.
And I don't understand. It's like there's a Venn diagram that is going on, multiple circles. They all concentrate on, not all, but most of them concentrate on, they love Whiskey, they love Drake, and they love Messi. So they hate everything that is opposite of that. So it's just horrible. Interesting.
Don't bring Messi.
I think it would be like a good banter, but I don't really have like a plan per se. I just know that, okay, doing this is something I enjoy. And when I was telling other people like Ola and these two ladies, I was like, if you enjoy it, then let's continue doing it. Of course, maybe someday there might be an opportunity for this to be something more. But just let's enjoy doing it. But outside of enjoying doing it, it has to benefit you also. So I told them I was talking about real estate and I want them to also like, let's speak and do all this about real estate and things that I'm interested in. But you are also interested in something. So you can do the research on those things. We can come together and talk about those things. If some of the people you interview, if they're interested in coming on the show, that can happen also. So it's just, and there are some other people also that have like podcasts in Bastard and they are doing incredible, like there's this guy, the Global Rich podcast. Like I watch every episode that comes out. And also
really? Who are these people?
Global Rich podcast. So their own is quite unique because they interact mainly with people, with specialists of whatever field they bring on. Mainly, not always, because they still bring on other people, and they also maybe someday I might be there also. So they've brought in the mayor of Vasa, and then the chairman of Vasa, and then some business guys also. I even got to find out about like the separate business entity aside from Vasek. So there's Vasek, there's Concordia, and then there's these guys also. And they are even the most practical parts when it comes to business. From watching that show, I found out I got a number to call to connect with those guys. So like these ideas that I have, I'm going to like just tell them about it, and maybe they'll be able to guide me more. Because I think that's what I need, the guidance. I don't just need them to tell me how to, like the others, how to do the administrative part. No, no, no. If you know someone that is in this line already, just point me to that person. Let the person mentor me. Or if you particularly know about it. So it's like the more practical part. Every other person has just been telling me, okay, this is how the setup is, blah, blah, blah. I can know the setup. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. You need mentoring.
Yeah, I need like mentoring, or even if you can't mentor me, just point me in like a direction I can go.
At least a consultant. If you don't want to get to the
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, and the Stephen Ikebude show also very entertaining and very educative. Also, it's like an entertainment thing. So
Your episode is the only one I've watched.
Really, I watch all other. This lady that I told you that I reached out to her, I found out about her from the Stephen Ikebude show.
Okay,
Then
maybe
I
I'll
listened to her.
episode. You
Then
text
I
me.
listened to her story, and I found out that she's in Jakobstad there. I was like, ah. Then, from the name, I searched Instagram, LinkedIn, just to see, and I was like, oh, she's actually making videos about these things. Then I reached out to her.
It's interesting. You're actually growing your network.
I wouldn't say it's just something I do regardless. So I wouldn't put it under any professional term. It just makes sense, I guess.
Wow. Have you heard of School of Knocks?
School of what?
Hard Knocks podcast.
No, what is that?
All right. So there's this guy, these three very young men. I think the oldest may be 24.
Okay.
And they used to go around just interviewing people that are millionaires and billionaires. And you may have seen this one. There was a recent video going around. Aliko Dangote was with some white guy.
Oh, okay. I know the guy then. Yeah, I know the guy.
That guy, he had the School of Hard Knocks podcast. And he started with looking like bums on the streets. Imagine years back, they're probably 20.
Yeah.
Even the rich people are like, who is this random guy running to me with a mic and he's a camera guy? And they started building. Now they go on trips to interview these people. There was time he went to China, he went to Dubai. Then you saw, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? He went to Nigeria just to get. But we're Nigerian. We've never seen Dangote before.
Yeah. I was telling someone that, of course, in the beginning it will have been just organic, just by chance. You meet somebody that is rich and then you interview him. And of course, with time, other rich folks, they notice that, okay, this guy, because at the beginning, he must have walked up to people and they just ignore it.
So they turn him down all the time. Even all the time. He gets turned down multiple times. They leave the court sometimes in the videos. Till now, they get turned down. So people are not even having it. They're like, just. But now, less people will turn him down. And of course, more people will accept. Some people, I'm sure it's possible that some people will even tell him, come all the way. I think that, I'm not saying that's what happened though. It might be the case with Dangote because he won't just travel to Nigeria just to meet Dangote. It was the case with Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins also gave them the permission, come to my house. They interviewed Tony Robbins in his house. Yeah. Yeah, and Tony Robbins, well, I don't know if you've heard, he hit the big B status not long ago.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not knocking anybody down. They deserve it. We also have to realize that inflation is a thing. So with inflation, everybody that was a millionaire close to that bit, they automatically go up to the B.
Into the B. Because their compounding effect is on a different level.
Yeah. And of course, it's just, and now there's a trillionaire. Of course, people are celebrating, which is good. But that just tells you how bad inflation is. Yeah, that is actually.
Wow. I think it was always going to be a trillionaire though.
Eventually, yes, because
it was always going to be.
Yeah, that guy is. Anyway, he probably deserves everything I'm getting. But, make we just focus on the small way we they do, then
Yeah.
get inspiration from those guys. Because so many people have asked me that who is my okay, don't let me say so many, like there were so many, maybe 3, 4 people have asked me. Who is like my mentor? My answer is always just straight and obvious. It's my dad. I really can't think of anyone outside of my dad because I don't know everything about him. But more importantly, I know a lot of his flaws. And even at that, I respect him immensely. So I think if you don't know people's flaws, because I think you learn more from people's flaws than even their successes.
That's deep.
Of course,
That's deep.
success, you can learn from their success immensely. But I think because some people say, oh, don't meet your heroes, blah, 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 blah. It's because they saw their flaw and they were disappointed.
Yeah, they realized that, wow, I was idolizing
Yeah.
this person. It's just
Yeah.
it's a messed up guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Everything good. No, not everything. Most things good in my life happened because of my parents. And I appreciate like their sacrifice.
Wow. I hope you can click this part so your dad sees it, because I don't know if he'll sit down and watch.
He knows. He doesn't even need to click. I've told them on his birthday 2 years ago. I told him. That was the first time. That was the very first time I saw my dad cry.
Oh dear, that must have been such an emotional time, and for him also, it's very touching to hear that.
I just chalked it up to maybe he's an old man now, so maybe that's why he's crying. Because my dad, I know him as like a strong guy, and why I said that is because now me, I'm an old man. I cried for the first time unprovoked 2 weeks ago.
Unprovoked? You just got emotional and overwhelmed.
So I was watching something on my phone, and it was like kids eating different foods, traditional food, and then the last one was Gaza, and then there was a girl eating rice from literally from the sand from the floor because I just started crying. Yeah, exactly. And that's strange because that would never happen to me like 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. So maybe because like I know what it's like to be a parent, and every time my daughter is like always on my mind. Like I see when she's sleeping, sometimes I just stare at her for like an hour or two, just looking at her like how beautiful she looks when she's asleep with her big puffy cheeks. And and it was probably, I don't know, it was very sad. I started crying. So I guess I'm old now. I'm getting old and these things.
You're human. You're human, bro.
I'm human.
And you have more awareness, because if you have more awareness, you have a bit more empathy also.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's deep. That is deep. And your dad should be proud of you also, because as your friend, I feel very inspired when we talk. It could be about anything. I may not be interested in what you're interested in, but when I see that drive and the fact that we are here doing this podcast after I sincerely thought, let me be honest with you, I get a lot of people that talk to me, and I'm not exaggerating. A lot of people talk to me about getting into videos, some shows, if I tell you how many times I've been invited to be a guest and on a podcast with someone, it's a lot. And then those will come, I want to do YouTube, I want to do TikTok. It's like 5 to 10% that actually do it. First video, I'm saying the first video, not even like started and they gave up. After some time, so I expected, like, of course, it's another call like that. So seeing that you actually went on with it and got a couple shows, I was like, wow. And who are the last person I would imagine would do this? Because
honestly, it's crazy. Like I would never like. Okay, producing is one thing. I could try to produce, but being in front of camera doing this is not something I even thought would be possible 2 years ago. So it's incredible. I'm grateful actually for everyone that's come on the show, and I'm grateful for you also. You inspire me in more ways than you realize. Not just you. As I said, I've been spoiled by life. Life has given me surrounded me with like so many good people constantly. Life has spoiled me so much that sometimes I'm gullible and I just believe people are telling the truth all the time.
That's dangerous too.
It's dangerous, but it's like when everyone around me tells the truth all the time, or most of the time. So I just believe that's how life is sometimes until some things happen and then. But I'm grateful to you. You pushed me. I didn't want to disappoint you that time. I didn't want to disappoint you.
Don't have to
And
see that.
I had to try to put together the video and send it to you. And then after that, it got easier. I interviewed my very first guest. And after 3 hours, we found out that it wasn't being recorded.
No, after
Yeah.
3 hours, after
Yeah.
3 hours,
After
no,
3 hours.
Did the person agree to do it again?
Thankfully, it was Ola.
You're blessed. You're really blessed. Yeah, I
Thankfully, it
see.
was Ola. So we just spoke and we're just telling, okay, well, we spoke and we understood ourselves more and, things like that. So we just swept it under the rug. The second person was Wale, which happened to now be my first official guest. So we shot the thing, did everything, and realized that it was only the audio that recorded. The camera turned off during mid recording. So that's why my very first episode, it was audio, but the video was me in a bus. So that was just the journey I recorded on my way to Vasa. So that was why that happened. So, and of course there are some things that were planned. Like for example, I've interviewed one or two persons, and after the interview, they said they don't feel comfortable with me releasing it. And those are the things that happen.
Said more than they plan to say.
Yeah. And I was like, I can cut that part out. They're like, no, don't just release it. And of course I have to respect their wishes. So it's a journey and it's interesting how things are unfolding. And thankfully I'm enjoying it. Regardless of what the numbers do or anything like that. I think life is perspective. And I think me seeing that other side, it's incredible. Even the stories I've not released is incredible. Like, it's really incredible what people go through and overcome. It's amazing for me for them to even. It's even a privilege for me to hear their story firsthand.
Read, and
because they trust me enough to tell me those things. So everything is try and error. Initially, I tried to prepare questions ahead until a particular lady was like, no, don't let's prepare any questions. Just ask me the questions when we are like doing this. And that turned out to be the best interview that I had. And from then onward, I don't prepare any questions. I just ask. And my curiosity drives me.
Tried this. Yeah. The first time we tried this also was you had the
Oh yes, I had a few questions that
and we had to try to make it naturally flow.
Yeah,
I see where you're coming from. This went a lot more natural. And also that one we ran into a problem because on my side something went wrong. And the whole thing didn't record. I think we got like 5 minutes.
Yeah. And that was a really fun interview, even though it didn't release, because I spoke about a couple things that I didn't end up speaking about there. But I think everything at the end of the day is such is life. So I'm thankful to be doing this, and the other things that are going to come, I don't know how it's going to play out, but at least I know for a fact that I'm going to learn from those things. And I hope people that are going to watch it are going to learn from those things also.
Definitely.
I'm not a teacher. I'm just an enthusiastic person about certain topics. So maybe if I'm talking about real estate, it's not like I know about real estate, even though my dad has been involved in a couple things, and fortunately I was there with him, or he carried me along. And some things about his business, he carries me along. And fortunately I met someone in Finland that's willing to carry me along on her next deal. So she said when she's doing her next deal, I'm going to see the process from start to finish with her. And I'm hoping for her to introduce me to the other guy that has a lot more apartments. And then I now realize that, okay, even apartments is different. Some apartments are more vacant than others for specific reasons. Whether it's Vasa, that's just a Finland thing. Back home is quite different. For example, studio apartments, they are almost always filled up by people. Studio apartments sell more than some other apartment. And she told me that, especially in a place like Barca, studio apartment feels, of course, when people are sharing apartment, like Voas, the way they split up like a 3-bedroom apartment to each, because they know that the studio apartment, that's what
The model
goes more.
works.
Yeah, and there's a guy that has like almost 30 apartments, 18 or way more than half, like 90% they are studio apartment. So like some of these things, like it's quite interesting to hear.
I hope you will bring me along when, if there's ever a time you want to give us an update on how your journey is going. But probably by that
Of course.
time, you may be in school or you may have started
Yeah.
on your first deal. And I hope we do it in person also. That would be so
Even
much.
you also, I can, because it's like a business and personal finance thing. So business takes different form. It's not always like about real estate. You are in the creative business also, and there are 1 or 2 deals you have done in the past, and of course many more deals you will do in the future. That results to actual metrics. So when we are coming to you, okay, this creative space, we don't really understand it, to like teach us and
Oh,
our audience
I don't
about
understand.
this. You don't understand it because it's just something you're doing. But I think you understand it more than you give yourself credit for, because you've actually produced results and you've been consistent. And for people that don't know, which of course a lot of people in Finland knows you a lot. Worldwide, you are not that well known, but a lot of people in Finland knows you. You are, can I call you an influencer? You're a promoter.
Yeah, I'm a TikToker.
Well, you're a promoter. You're a promoter. Let's say you make TikTok.
Content creator, yeah.
Yeah, you're a content creator, and you are finding out some things, and your journey has been so incredible, because I remember when you were excited about some numbers 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and then now it's like double, triple. So, and you're still amazed now. Couple years in the future, it will be even double, triple, and then you'll be amazed at that one also. So
yeah,
it's
I was excited.
now.
2,000. I was like, I'll take 2,000 people following me. It's like, yeah, that's a win.
Yeah, and there was a recent thing that happened to you that was even more than just one person, and then more and more and more and more things like that will happen. So in your own way, you're also one of those guys that are influencing and encouraging other people also to do their own thing.
To be part of that, I don't mind. It's very natural to talk to you. It doesn't feel like a podcast. It just feels like we're having
exactly because we're just friends. We're friends already, like long time
just
ago.
friends chatting. So it doesn't
chatting.
I get it.
So it doesn't register as like a podcast. That's how I know Ola is going to. Ola can do this for 10 years without even thinking about whatever. It doesn't matter to us. And of course, I think at the end of the day, I would really love people to listen to Ola's story.
I love Ola's story.
Ola's story, and he has ideas, a lot of ideas. That's what I love the most about Ola. So many ideas. There's some Ola in the Bible. Okay, don't let me blaspheme. God will just strike me down. But there are sometimes that when I read the Bible, I understand it, but I don't understand it till it takes a while before I now finally understand it. Ola also will say something, and I have to really think about it, because he just says it in a way that I don't really understand. He just tell Ola all the time, Alpha, you're saying this thing in a way I don't understand. Like, it's supposed to talk in a way say I go understand. But say anyway, I shall have to think about it, and I'm like, actually, Ola, this thing you said, actually, and I will explain it in my own way. And he'll be like, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I meant. But I didn't know that's what you meant. So Ola he has a very bright mind. And
and he has a bright future too, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And he has a friend like you. Close proximity is very important, and I'm happy about that too.
That's why a place like Jakobstad here, thankfully we are able to connect via other means. Jakobstad is a place, I've said it to Ola so many times, it's for old people to go and retire. The countryside is very peaceful, and you can make moves, of course, but it's not as, maybe I'm used to the bustling waves of like the city. I don't know if I'll come to I don't know if I'll come to do that side though, but let me start with Vasa. Then maybe afterwards I can think of.
You can't start with Vasa. You were in Vasa. You started from Vasa.
But compared to Yakosta, Vasa is bubbling. When I visit Vasa again, it's so different. Like I just look around, I'm like, wow, this looks like a big city. Even though while I was there, it just looked regular, but now I'm like, yeah.
How many times have you been to the capital region here?
Just twice, and both times I just went straight to the airport.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So Vasa feels like a small part. You know, the capital region is we call it Ulsima, right? When people say I live in Helsinki, they may not live in Helsinki.
Yeah, they might live in Espoo or
Vanta or so it's like one of those cities. Vasa is like a small part of it. Like a small part of one of the cities that come together. So it's when you come here, you just realize your closest friend, you may need to drive 25 minutes and go on the highway to see the next friend close to you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Vasa, the farthest person from you is a 15-minute drive.
Yeah, so exactly.
Big difference in scale. I think you'll like it.
I think also that's why I like where I am right now. I don't even need a car to go around the city.
No, but here there's public transport. That's the good thing. You know, Jakobstad is different. You're not seeing public transport. Here, you could. There's a tram line. They're just constructing it just by the road there now. So that's another extra. So there's trains, there's metros, there's buses. So it's like the whole vibe. There's the trams.
Yeah.
And the schedules are very quick. So you don't feel like, for the reason that they live here, they don't buy a car for that. You don't even want the headache of parking your car in the center and stuff.
Yeah, I think Helsinki will be an interesting place because there's so many nationalities there, so many perspectives there.
When it's time.
It's something I might eventually, but for now, let me just take a step at a time.
You're growing, I get that.
I think Abuja spoiled me. Abuja was so calm, so relaxed. I loved it so much. I wanted something so calming and relaxing like Abuja. Because when I went back to Lagos, I was just irritated.
Just rowdy.
Yeah. And luckily, I was there for like 6 months. Then I came to Finland, which was calm again.
Yeah, that was rowdy. But man, because of time, we can't continue. You look at this. So funny. We plan to record for 1 hour.
For 1 hour,
30 minutes. Now 1 hour, 30 minutes. Wow. But thank you for this. For this experience that you've given me also. I mean, the people that will watch this will eventually watch it, but for me, I'm experiencing it for the first time, firsthand. So this was actually a very nice twist to my evening. Yeah, I really appreciate you also for taking your time to do this. It took a while to make it happen. Well, welcome to Finland. Sorry. Welcome to this part of the world anyway, because we have to try to match our schedule. No, it's not even about that also. We all have our timelines, and there's things happening in your side, there's things happening in my side, and I appreciate. And maybe someday also you share your story, even though you like to form hard guy, but you don't say you be hard boiled egg. Say you soft for inside. No one knows my story. I'm mysterious like that. So and it's confidence it takes to come out and say your story also.
Yeah, it is. There was a lady that told me a story that was like, yeah, you sure say you want make I put this in house like this, like the way it be like this. She said, yeah, no problem. And there was also a lady that told me a story that eventually said, no, don't put it out. Because in my mind, I was like, are you sure? Like,
it's a lot of information.
Yeah, a lot. And sometimes when some people tell me their story, it now makes sense. People that already know, it now makes a lot of sense because there was for example, there was a time that a lady wanted to move from somewhere to somewhere. So when she told me a story in Finland, in Vasa, when she told me a story, I was like, oh, so that makes sense now. So that's why that move happened. And that's why this man, things are happening, both good and not so good. And not so good. But ultimately, they overcame that. I think maybe that's the most joyous thing. Is that it was like a stepping stone to something better. When I overcome mine, maybe I'll tell you. I'm in my story now. I'm just Your story is unfolding. This content and business is wild. But thankfully, you've been at this for a while and you're even far ahead of the rest of us.
6 years.
So we are looking up to you to lead the way.
I pray, man. We'll keep going together.
And
Let's
then
hold
you share your story.
Yeah, no problem.
So thank you
thanks
for
this.
this collaboration, and hopefully Sunday your soft egg go crack, and
No problem.
we go feel yolk together.
You'll be the first to know. You know, I know that there's another interview I have been dodging, and you know the person I'm talking about. I have dodged this
Why you
success. I think
open your heart.
You understand I'm dodging it. You get. And I'm dodging it because before I give out an interview, I could do a podcast with somebody and just about them, and that's fun. But it's about me. It's like I'm beginning to start I'm not getting good fit. Yeah. So that's why. But yeah, definitely, if I'm going to do an interview like this, I will do it with you first.
Yeah. Ola showed me a video about you actually. You know, he still has those videos that when you guys are roommates.
He's been what do you call it? Blackmailing me with those videos.
He showed me a video of when he was chasing you in the winter or so.
It was the winter,
and you were running. He has a video of me also. He's going to blackmail with that video. I was doing a freestyle.
I have a video of you dancing.
He has that one also. That was a terrible video. But the video I'm talking about is a very bad one. It's my very first video on my second day in Finland. And I was doing a freestyle. And then he recorded me.
Oh my God.
He recorded the freestyle.
I don't know why he does that. And I looked at my old videos with Ola from 2017, and I felt I was so small. I couldn't imagine I was that skinny. I didn't feel that skinny bro, you saw my video. I was
with long head.
My neck is so long, but it was so obvious then. Wow. I've been begging him not to release it.
Thank God for growth. Thank God for growth.
Yeah. That video was not good.
I've grown so much also, but when I came, I could see the difference from you guys and me, because I was quite fresh when I came. Make another like.
Yeah.
I was a bit chubby also, so
when I came to Finland, I was skinny. You know, I was 59 kilograms in Finland. Yeah, 59. I was a grown man, and I was 59.
Wow, I can't remember the last time I was 59. My normal working weight is 75. Normal, like for the past 10 years, 75. But now I've become a bit bigger. So now I'm like 90 or 95 or so.
90?
But now I want to go back to 80. I want to be, because I know when my muscles solidified, it will be like 80. I can't go back to 75 because I'm a bit bigger.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 75 was like I was in between chubby and skinny. Yeah, but I haven't been skinny in a long time.
Yeah, I was skinny when I came. I was 69. I was feeling like a boss too when I came. I thought I was that guy.
It's interesting looking at you now, looking at you back then. Because back then, even Ola also, when I look at him, this picture back then, like, wow. I'm thankful he looks the way he looks now.
Ola looked like he was rescued. Ola looks like when he came newly to Finland, I saw some pictures. He looked like he was rescued from Nigeria. Like he didn't plan to travel here. They found him and they said, no, this has to stop, and just brought him to Finland, and he just switched up. Just the environment. Ola can adapt. That's one thing.
Yeah, Ola can adapt. But anyway, no matter. So hopefully, we go see how 2027 will be. I go try record like some of those episodes and maybe release it by the end of the year or next year. And we just see how it is. But of course, offline, behind the scenes, I'll be keeping you informed about the little things we do.
Be asking also, yeah.
No worries. I appreciate, and we at TAFTOBY, we wish you adieu. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. This is my small journey. Exactly. My small journey interviewed by Baron. And thank you very much for watching. Edo.